Hey, welcome to the Wandering Isles. It is good to see you all again. We are Sans Ryan and Sans John today, so we miss you guys. Hope everyone's doing well, though. We are here to bring you one heck of a game. A few business bitch at the top before
business
we kick
bitch.
in.
Business bitch.
Business bitch.
Your business bitch.
First of all, Cian, we're at the very last week where we can discuss this. Movember, I believe.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, it's ending this weekend. I will still probably have a shade of this next week because I'm not getting rid of it all. You know, I'm getting rid of the handlebars because my partner has asked me to try and grow a bit of mustache. So I'm going to do that while I'm letting the beard grow in. So there's still going to be a bit of whatever fuckery. But yes, it is the last week of Movember. Yeah. So we've raised 500 quid so far. Won't hit the €2,500 mark, unfortunately, but that was ambitious anyway.
Unless it's a really good week.
Unless it's a really good week. If there's a rich benefactor out there that just goes, here, slap 2,000 grand, 2,000 grand, 2 grand on the table.
2,000 grand?
2,000 grand. Yeah, imagine.
Yeah, I mean, I'll take it.
So yeah, if you can donate, it's in aid of men's mental health. So try to break the stigma this month. Hence the mustache, which it's growing on me. Sorry, I apologize. But if you can donate at all, we'd very much appreciate it.
Absolutely. One final push as we're approaching the end of it. It would be nice to see. Definitely be nice to see.
Absolutely. I mean, 500 quid it's not a small amount of money.
No,
that goes to,
I was about to say, well done though.
Yeah, it goes to research, to various men's health facilities. So it does go to fantastic causes. Movember.com has a lot of details if you want to have a look, even outside of November.
Yeah, absolutely. Another point, actually, while we have you, Cian, I believe there's a package sitting on your desk.
There is.
You may now open it. Side. Yeah, don't change. Don't dox yourself, man.
All right.
I should have put a warning on it, or a label across it or something.
It's been set there for what, a while now.
We sent it after last session, yeah. So.
Okay. What? There's a feather on it. The fuck? Smells nice.
Of course he sniffs it.
For the podcast listeners.
Something to get you
Raise
through
your
November.
Hand a little bit.
Stay warm.
Whoa.
Dear Cian, something to get you through November. Stay warm. Richard said you have to wear it for the whole session. I don't think that's going to happen.
What is this? Oh my god, no!
Thank you to our friends at the Ivory Crow for sending us a wonderful gift for Cian.
Hang on. Well,
so it's supposed to accompany the tash, so it goes around just like your chin, so your mouth and your tash stay out, and the tash will do the rest of the work for you.
That's fantastic. I feel so warm. This actually, I see my chin had been feeling quite cold. You know? So this is great. I promised my partner to send her a picture of what I got in the package, so
no worries. Yeah, you can put it up on socials as well.
Yeah, I'll have to.
It apparently is the wrong way around. There you go.
Oh, is it? Well, this looks like highlights.
There we go.
Wow.
Oh yeah, I can see it there. Yeah.
Okay.
Honestly, it looks more like a Tarzan short.
The copies, yeah.
That's amazing.
That is.
Cian, put your hood up for a second. Put your hood up as well.
Over this, I don't think it's quite gonna work.
Hey, it's doing something. Oh my god.
There you go.
I've been playing God of War, a loincloth, yeah. I've been playing God of War, and you look like one of the characters. Like, we can get you in there maybe as Tyr or something, you know?
Oh, fantastic.
Like a beanie or something.
Yeah.
Ivory Crow, Mandel Jane, thank you so much. That is
so funny, man.
There is a beanie he could use.
I sent we got merch being plugged too. I sent Cian a message. I was like, hey, I need your address. You're not allowed to ask why, and you're definitely not allowed to open it until the session. He's like, what the fuck is this?
Fantastic. It's actually so warm. I highly recommend this. This is fantastic.
I highly recommend it. Nice.
I mean, genuinely, I will wear that to the pub.
Nice. Definitely. Like, a lot of love went into it. And before I sent it up, I took a selfie in it as well. So,
of course.
I'm just glad that Ken said a lot of love went into it and you were smelling it. That's all I can say.
A lot of love. But on that note,
it smells like love.
Let's kick straight in. We might be missing 2 players, but we are definitely action packed today, so we need to make sure that the time is done.
Absolutely.
Back to Kian, I believe, actually, for the
Back to me
recap
again.
as well.
Yeah, that's how that works. Absolutely.
Dominating the intro, man.
Not like me to hog the spotlight. Volcanus, a land of freezing cold and volcanic fire. We came here on a mission from Remington Maleficum, headmaster of the Arcanum, to meet his old friend Wolver. The man's afflicted with lycanthropy, and we're here to retrieve a vial of elixir. Simple job, right? No, not with us. We went into some caves. They were a nightmare. Charred bodies, a kraken-like creature beneath the ice, and horrors I'd rather not note down. We left with more questions than answers and found ourselves in Dagtorp, a town barely holding on through the winter. I tried passing off as a merchant. Turns out the locals hate Palperoth folk like me. Who knew? And then we met Orla Voltime, a legendary huntress, and somehow convinced her to let us help with a deadly threat stalking the town. But last night, things turned for the worse. We found a man on fire, screaming in agony. Hatsu tried to heal him. I ended his suffering. Or so I thought. The fire rose, twisting the man into a distorted beast. The snow melted, the heat hit, and now we face an enemy born of flame. Let's see if we survive long enough to meet Wolver.
I love it. It's amazing. Don't think that it slipped past me that you're trying to give yourself plot armor by writing a letter from the future. That letter may never come to pass.
No, that's just Dash's journal. He's like, hang up, pause, and he's just writing in his journal.
Just a big time out, guys. Time out.
Let me just Dear Diary.
You look kind of like a bird. I can draw you. Hell yeah. On that note, we take ourselves back in to the moment where it all ended. Not began. I was going to say began. You sit there facing a new foe, someone that you have not seen or faced before. This foe covered in flame, wreathed in it. It starts to laugh maniacally as the heat emanates from its body. Eos ran. Hatsu, Ayami, I believe, started to move as well, if I recall correctly. The rest of you?
I was next to Hatsu. I think Hatsu had positioned himself slightly between Dash and Balrog. I don't know what we're calling it. That thing.
That thing. Can they give you a name? Not yet, anyway. So what do you guys want to do?
Panic.
A good choice. Richard, you're on mute.
Hatsu would glance over to the ranger if she's ready to go.
She bolted. She's running back, but she's mad about it. Like, she's trying to hold her frame. Oh no, sorry. She ran past. She grabbed her bow, and she's ready to try and take a shot. But she's trying to get back as the snow melts beneath all of the feet as people are backing away here.
I didn't pull back with Eos, but I didn't push forward with the others either, so I'd be closer to the front, but not quite as close as they are, if that makes sense.
I think did you describe last week at the end of it as myself, Hatsu, and Ayami kind of sinking with the snow?
The snow is melting, and you guys are moving down because of it, yeah.
So if everybody's backing up a little bit, Hatsu would, because he's super close, he would disengage and flick back towards where Ayami is going.
Ayami's gonna haul. Absolutely haul us.
Yeah. If needed, Dash will kind of act as like a boost if you need to get up to the snow.
It's not that low yet, but the longer you stay here, the more that likelihood is going to happen. Right now, it's just sinking. It's not a dangerous amount yet.
I'll also back up, just kind of keeping pace with Hatsu and Ayami.
Okay. 20 feet, 30 feet, 40 feet. The radius of heat emanating from this is getting further and further. Slate, at this point, you're probably the closest if you're holding position. What would you like to do?
I think I would back up, but at a slightly different direction to the others, so I'm not running back to them, and it'd be like a V shape, so I'd be, they're over here, I'm over here, and he's over there, like so, creates a triangle. So I would back up with the heat and with everybody else backing up, because I'm not built for that, so for sure. And because I'm running away, it makes sense that I would change into dash and
dash.
A dash. As the fire begins to sear away at the tree lines, they catch fire themselves. As the burning energy begins to sear away, they catch fire themselves. This, for all intents and purposes, looks less like a fireball and more like a concentrated force of nuclear energy. This is burning away everything, melting, dissolving, crushing. But the radius is not shrinking. 60 feet, 70 feet.
How fucking far can this thing go? Should we shoot it?
From our studies in the Arcanum, all of us being in the library and talking about raised threats, and over the times we have been made aware of historical raised threats. Obviously, having read about those, and some of us more than others, but all of us have spent time reading about them, has there been anything like this that we would have an indication, as in, oh yeah, this could go far enough to take out the village that's a couple of miles away, or could we outrun it? Do we have any idea from past?
So there's two things. I want a history check, but I'm going to start explaining something, and how far I go with my explanation will then be based on your roll. But there's certain information you all know, and then there's certain things that could be based on fact learned. Yeah. So let's start with what the world knows while you roll your die for me, please. On a history check. With a 5. What the world knows, which is basically all you know, is that raised threats are not always one and the same. They have different abilities, different factors. The commonality between them is that they have the potential to level or destroy or raise a city. If you can raise a city, then it goes beyond a threat. Like, that is just apocalyptic at that point if it keeps going. But in this level, there's a lot of broken glass for some reason. In this level, this would be considered something small in the scale of raised threats. So in terms of what you're dealing with here, like right now he's 60 or 70 feet. That's child's play compared to some of the raised threats that have been out there, the force that has been needed to stop them. But that doesn't mean he can't reach that potential, be it now in this moment or in the future.
What's when the snow is melting, is it solid ground under, or is it
you're reaching
iced?
that point of a few foot down where it becomes dirt, yeah, and stone and stuff like that as well. But throughout his manic laughter, he is kneeling now in the dirt as the snow separates in a perfect circle around him.
Okay, I'll take a shot with the short bow, see if I can damage him.
Make your roll. You have disadvantage due to the searing heat if you're standing still. 23 would have hit, but I still need you to roll with disadvantage.
Yeah.
11?
11.
So you line up the shot, you take the shot, and it feels perfect. Your 23 should have hit. The arrow begins to dissolve, the metal melting away. It pulls it down, the wood catches on fire, and before it even hits him, it becomes nothing.
Any ideas, gang?
Well,
80 feet.
I don't think that you can do something with ordinary metal, I guess.
Doesn't look like it.
If you're going to hit him, it has to be faster than whatever you just did. That would be the takeaway, more likely. It's not impossible to hit him, is what I'm saying. 90 feet.
How much does the heat affect Hatsu's body? Would he feel like it's...
Where are you in that 90 feet to him?
I did one move, so I'm 40 feet away.
Then you feel like you're burning. And it's time to move. If you were to stay there any longer, it would be harmful to you.
Yeah, so yeah, there's nothing he can do. He had to go out of range, so he would dash 80 feet.
Okay. It's a weird thing because the contrast between the cold snow and the heat from him, you can still feel the heat coming towards you if you've dashed outside that radius, but that cold snow contrast, it's insane, the drop of temperature in just 80 feet. Are you all moving?
Yeah, so like as you leave the radius, it's instantly cold. Like it's not like it's...
Yeah, like not like it drops back to exactly what it was. If it was like, let's say it was -5, it's probably like 5 where Hatsu is now. He can still feel the heat coming towards him. It's not a just direct drop, but there's a stark
like
difference
a
between... Yeah. Sure. But it is like standing at the distance of like, but standing halfway through what he's emanating versus standing outside the radius of what he's emanating, there's a massive, massive difference. Lissa and Ayami are hauling ass with Orla. They are moving out of this radius. Orla keeps trying to stop and line up a shot, but the radius is growing too quickly for her to get that perspective.
Yeah, I think we just gotta run, guys, do we? Eos, you got anything?
I am waiting to see what happens.
Sure.
Full sprint, just full sprint.
Okay.
I'm gonna. I'll try another shot. I know it's kind of wasted, but I'm just gonna try.
You still have disadvantage, but you can't have double disadvantage, so that's a win.
Yeah. Wasted in that 20.
I'm sorry.
Stick.
With a 9.
Fuck.
As you guys run away, you turn around and you try and take your shot again, but the arrow barely even leaves before it catches fire, and you just know there's no point anymore at this point. You just run 100 feet, 110, 120. You guys are hauling ass.
And the radius is still expanding beyond the 100?
Yeah, but it slows down. When it reaches 120, suddenly the force and the heat, all of it, you just hear the crackle from the trees, but the force, the heat and everything, they fade away. They stop. As the energy gets pulled back in, along with the air in the area, you see smoke moving towards him, and the fire from the trees is pulled in towards him, the energy spiraling towards his chest. What do you want to do?
We either talk to him or kill him, because he's the equivalent of reloading. Fire needs fuel, it needs oxygen. So we need to do what we're going to do now. So either we go back, we talk to him, we kill him, or we get the hell out of here.
Put him in the lake.
I'll do what you say.
I'll just pull out my 2 daggers and look at Slate and just kind of shrug the shoulders. Shall we? Alright. Hauling ass back towards him.
I'll go with you then, so.
I need to know what you're doing. So you're dashing towards him?
Dashing towards him and trying to, as the energy is kind of coming in, trying to target that point where the fire is gathering in his chest and try to extinguish it, I guess.
Eos will stop at the 80-foot mark.
Okay. Hatsu?
He would do 40 and hold a dodge action.
So you're 40
Just
away from
in
him, or you're
case.
adding 40 to the sort of 120?
No, I do just one move.
Okay.
Yeah.
No problem.
So he would be 80 away from him. So I could reach him the turn after if I have to.
Okay. And so Dash, Slate, you're running towards him. Eos, you're holding position probably with the others. At that point, that would be Lissa, Orla, and Ayami. And Hatsu, you're a little bit further back. When you get close, Dash, what you hear is a little bit different than I think what you were expecting. He's inhaling. Continuously. Deeply.
Do I get the sense as I'm approaching that he is in control of his own facilities, or is he...
Oh, he's very in control. Judging by the giant smile on his face and the fanged teeth.
Okay, I'll continue plowing on and try to stab him again.
Okay. Same as
And
that.
like I said, I'm just going to shout, yeah, he's reloading, because fire needs oxygen.
Okay, you guys move up to that 40 point. Excuse me. As you approach that point of you're within range of whatever you want to do here. So you could throw a dagger, you could take a shot, you could scream at him. You can do anything. His eyes begin to glow, and instead of an orange or a yellow, they're almost a burning white. His skin is burning, boiling. He doesn't seem to mind. This is it. Dash, Slate, whatever you want to do. Or one
How
of you
close
further
are we?
away. Dash and
How
Slate
close are
are
we to
about
now?
30 to 40, whatever your max run distance is, I'll say, because that's what I said, you're within that range. So if you guys are 30, I think you guys are 30, so I'll put you 30. Hatsu, you're obviously one away. Eos, you're one further back than that with the others. So if there's anything any of you want to do, I'll let you call it, but the results will come when you're all locked in.
Eos is preparing a sorcerer's burst. There's little clouds above her. Crackles of lightning.
What's the range?
120.
I'm going to take my... What I'm going to try to do is... I'll take my cunning action to dash in conjunction with this. I'm trying to charge right up into space, stab, and then continue moving out the other side. Another 40 feet out the other side.
But the plan was to get him into the water.
Yeah, how far are we from the water, actually? Yeah, sorry.
You're running away from the water. You would have been running towards it earlier when you ran away from him. So again, you're running towards, because you're running back towards him, your back is to the water.
Okay, cool.
How far is the water in feet from us? Approximately.
I would say probably pretty close to Eos, maybe like 20 feet behind her. So 140 from the presence of the body.
Oh, wow. So
We're never getting him into that water, that's for sure.
Yeah, so I'm just going to continue what I said. I'm charging at him, try to stab, and keep moving past so I can try get in and immediately get out.
Okay, so Dash is queuing up an attack action. Slate.
From my experience of being a caster and spending time with Eos and in the school and doing magic classes, does it look like he is currently like in the process of a cast, if you know what I mean. Is this something that he's casting? Like, is he physically, verbally casted a spell or using gestures, or is this a spell, or is this just something that's happening and he's just letting it happen? Do you know what I mean?
This is not a spell that you have seen in that regard.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if this is a spell, he's not doing the stereotypical things that would be associated with a spell. Well, Slate's thinking
Hatsu,
that Hatsu will jump to you, yeah.
Hatsu would go 40 feet towards him and hold a dodge action.
Dodge. Okay. Eos, you're holding... I know what you're doing, actually. You're holding the...
Yeah.
Things. Dodge. Perfect. So any attack roll against you has disadvantage. If you can see the attacker, and you make dexterity saving throws with advantage. Okay. So Slate, that leaves you.
I'm going to go with what I was going to do. I am just going to charge right at him and grapple him. That was the intent of what we were doing. So failing that, I'm just going to dive, basically just charge and dive onto him with the idea of trying to stop whatever it is that's happening, whether it's a casting, whether he's possessed, to disable whatever he's doing. So whether it's physically knocking him out of what he's doing, breaking a concentration, or whether it's just simply, restraining his ability to use his hands or speak or whatever. So the whole idea is to knock him down and grab him and see what effect that has on what is happening to him or what he is doing.
Dash, you can make your attack roll.
Someone pray for me. 16 to hit.
Okay, roll damage.
It hasn't asked me to roll damage. That's right there. This. Question: do I get sneak attack as well if Slate is close by?
Sure.
You say that note so nonchalantly, it concerns me. So that is 10 damage total.
Slate, acrobatics or athletics, your choice.
Six.
Eos, your queued up spell, please.
Correct. And FYI, I'm doing subtle spell on it too.
Can I do a bonus action if that was my action before we go any further?
You can indeed. I'll let Eos do her thing, but then we'll come back to you again.
Yep.
What is this?
So Eos, you're using subtle spell, so make sure you mark off a sorceress point. It might be two. I'm not sure if a subtle spell.
That's okay.
Make a ranged attack against a creature or object within range. On a hit, deal 1d8. So, ranged attack, so this is just that. It's 20 plus your spellcasting modifier, which is your ability.
Mm-hmm.
So, for you, it is +3. Sorry, +5 for attack, sorry.
Thanks, brother. I just typed in 5 for the situational.
Yeah, 20 plus 5.
Beautiful.
Oh, that rolled damage, not attack. Got it. And so
okay.
the 5 there wouldn't apply. But what it is I'm gonna just retract that for a second. We'll do it again.
Yeah.
I'll get you to roll a d20 +5 from chat there, chat box.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah.
So just type +5 in chat afterwards. The reason it did that is because usually we use a module that'll do that. So 22. Okay. If that's the case, so on a hit, deal 1d8 of the chosen type. So acid, cold, fire, lightning, poison. What are you?
Lightning.
Lightning. Perfect.
That's why the clouds were above her.
Cool. Just going to double check something really quickly because Sorcerer's Burst is new to all of us. On a hit,
I've never seen it before. It's pretty cool.
It's brand new. Yeah, it's one of the new ones. If you're on 8 on a D8 for the spell, you can roll another D8 and add it to the damage when you cast a spell. So what Vandry actually just did there is rolled all the damage types instead of your chosen one. So that's why that was such an astronomically high number. What I'll get you to do is
brother, what level are we at?
Roll a D8 for me, please.
Yeah.
That's EOS level 4 or something, not 3.
7.
7. Okay, so not 8. Okay, so 7 lightning damage as well.
Wait, no.
Hatsu, I'll get advantage dexterity saving throw. Dash, I'll get a regular dexterity saving throw. Slate.
Just before that happens, I was saying about my bonus action. I only want to inspire Dash, so it's important that he gets that beforehand. So I'll just roll it to check because I can't target.
14.
So it lasts for 10 minutes.
Oh wait, there was ability check.
So it should be saving throw, yeah.
So I get what's that, a D6?
It's coming up with an automatic roll for me, Cam. I'll just hit that and he'll get what comes up.
Yeah, sure, that makes sense. Just add it to a situation.
Sorry, the UI is new. Where do I find
the UI is a bit weird because some of our modules aren't working. So we'll add a D6.
Oh, there, right. Yeah. Saving throw,
So Dash, you add just D6. Perfect, so it's 11. Slate, you have disadvantage on your dexterity saving throw.
Yeah,
22.
22 for Hatsu, 11 for Dash. Oh, that was so close to a really good roll there, pal.
Same with the last two that were super low.
Why do I hear boss music?
Because you see a boss. Slate.
Adriana?
Is this a would this count as an attack or an ability check, or what is this that's happening?
Don't worry about it, I'll take you through the whole thing. Slate, you feel physically burnt on your skin in a way that you have never experienced before as your skin begins to bubble.
Because I definitely want a cutting words, which is why I'm asking, which is a reaction. That's
Don't worry, you'll have plenty of time. All you hear is a whisper in your ear that no one else picks up on. Madriana still does because she has a crazy perception, even though she's in a completely different city. Oh, that was a mistake. All of you are currently blinded.
I'm in danger.
Dark vision.
Doesn't help you against this. If anything, it hurts you. All of you have the blinded condition and feel a severe impact from multiple sources. Slate, you will take the brunt of this. So you want to cutting words this is a feature. This isn't an attack directly on you. This is an AoE. This is not a spell. It is not a melee attack or anything of that nature. As far as I understand, cutting words won't help you because this is a dexterity saving throw.
Yeah, that's why I asked. Just to, perfect.
Hatsu, what I give you now will be halved for you. Eos, it doesn't reach you. Dash, you will take the full impact of this. And Slate, you will take it twice. Burning
this doesn't sound good.
is 3d6 for fire. The bludgeoning that you take as it throws you far, far, far away from here and beyond Eos. Dash, you go in a different direction because that's where you were, and the blast goes outward. The bludgeoning will be 4d6. So 3d6 burning, 4d6 bludgeoning. Slate, you have to double this, so we're counting on your allies helping you here. If you have any reactions, now's the time.
So you're rolling these damage, yeah?
You guys will roll your own damage for me.
The reason I'm asking is because cutting words specifically says when a creature within 60 feet makes a damage roll or succeeds an ability check or attack roll. So this would be a damage roll from them.
Maybe quickly, do you know what I mean? Words and I'll tell you, just to be 100% sure. Yeah. Because I don't remember off the top of my head. It's been a minute since I've dealt with bards. So
no, of course. Because obviously this isn't an attack roll, like you said. It's a feature. It's not an ability check, but there is a damage roll to it. So I don't know if it matters who rolls it, but it's a damage roll associated, and cutting words can reduce the damage. I can't stop it because it's not an attack roll. I can't make it miss, but I can make it do less damage.
Yeah, so the Bardic Inspiration die and subtract the total number rolled from the creature's roll. So yeah, you can you can do that. We'll do it off the total top of whatever it is, but I still need you. So it's 3d6, 46. So 3d6 fire, 46 bludgeoning. Hatsu, you take half of whatever you roll here.
We have to roll separately?
I'm going to get you guys to roll yourself.
Different attacks hitting us, or what?
I'm going to get you each to roll your own damage. So 3d6 fire and 46. So 76, basically. Gosh.
Oof.
That is the fire damage. So 3 fire and 4.
It's really important that I make this.
I'll explain what happened after.
Yep.
And 11 bludgeoning, so 9 damage in total.
I can't roll cutting words, but
that's fine. So you just take a D6 off, is it? Or
it would be because it's a Bardic Inspiration die and subtract the number, so the Bardic Inspiration is a D6.
Yeah.
So I'll just roll 1d6 then, yeah?
So roll 1d6 and subtract that from your damage.
Because currently,
you apply
I am
the damage
unconscious.
yourself, please.
I am barely alive.
How much damage did you take, Slate? You took 27?
I took 27 minus 6, 21 of 24 HP.
Okay.
So I have
mark yourself down to 3 HP for me, Hatsu. If you mark yourself off as well, you took, what was it? So that was 17, cut in half is 8. 8, yeah. So you take 8 damage. And sorry, where are we with Dash? Took 66 and 1d6, so I see it above it.
Yeah.
So it's 21 in total. Okay. Slate's marked off, Hatsu's marked off, Dash is marked off. Eos, what you see before you go blind, the whole body of this figure turns piercing white, and there's no time for you to respond to cover your eyes as the radius just ignites right back out to the line where it was. As you begin to gain vision again, you look around and you see Slate slammed into a tree, kneeled down. The tree is completely fractured and splintered. He's coughing blood. This is not good for him. His skin is burnt. His back is just completely, destroyed. He is in a lot of pain. You look around and you see Hatsu, who is just somehow, cutting fire in half. I don't know how he's doing this. But Hatsu, I'm going to say, runs. Just back a little bit. Just enough to stay ahead of the flames. Same effect for the moment you're blinded. Only lasts about 6 seconds. That will fade. So you all don't have to mark that onto your sheets. But as you run out of that zone, you can feel the heat on your back, and that's what hurt. Dash, for you, this is a heavy impact. You are barely running when you're running past him, as this suddenly just sweeps you off your feet and just spirals you down, and you slide through the snow and hit a tree. You can all see again, as once again it becomes nighttime and darkness. There's a body lying in the middle of the snow, burnt to a crisp. What do you guys want to do?
How far away are the boys in terms of feet from me?
That was a very.
I would like to heal.
The bodies, in terms of you, Slate would be the closest to you, Dash would be the furthest to you, and Hatsu's standing somewhere near you.
Would they all be within 30 feet?
Definitely not. He was 120 feet away when you shot at him, and Dash is further away than that. But I will give you Slate and I'll give you Hatsu.
Okay.
Now you can look around before you start doing anything. Just take it in. There's a body where this person is completely charred and lying on the ground.
Yep.
Not moving. You have Slate next to you on the tree.
Yep.
You have the girls behind you. They're fine. Yep. You have Hatsu, who's there, who's looking a little bit singed, smoke coming off him, but not his usual smoke. And then you have Dash, who is definitely...
It doesn't matter what's happening, Hatsu, he just sounds badass.
He's always badass, yeah. And he just outran an explosion. That's pretty badass.
Yeah.
and the better he gets, the faster he'll run. So then with Dash, we have he is definitely getting up again off the ground, but like he's probably spewing blood the same as Slate, because I think Dash is pretty low. Am I right in saying that? You're like low.
See, I'm like limping and singed, but I'm not sure if I'd be coughing blood level.
Liz is just going to fucking sprint to you. She's ignoring the body that's on the ground. She's just sprinting straight to Dash. And she's picking him up and she's bringing you across. But you can feel where her arm is against your body. You are burned badly.
Is Slate okay?
I gestured to Alyssa to bring her closer to me.
I'm like, wait, because I assume I can see Slate in fucking hell over there. So I'd be...
You and Slate are probably both coughing blood, but Slate's is probably hurt, like burning the snow. He got real bad hit.
So I'm like kind of dragging this over, like, no, we gotta get Slate.
I feel like if you've ever seen that movie Platoon, when he goes for the helicopter and he's like this, and the helicopter goes, it's kind of like that.
That is
what just happened?
100%.
You know what I mean?
That's the best example. I love that. Yes.
Yeah,
100%.
I'm just absolutely rocked. Ears ringing, blood coming out of the eardrums. Everywhere is blood, shrapnel, bits of tree line, wood splinters, everything. And I have no idea what's going on. I'm just coming around from what's just happened.
So I'm just going to pick Slate up and catch him by the face, be like, how many fingers do you see?
When everyone is within 30 feet of Eos, she stands in the center. She claps her hands. You boys see a little star appear in the center. You all now have extra 5 HP for the next 8 hours.
Using aid.
Yep.
So choose up to 3 creatures within range. So I'm guessing that's Slate, Hatsu, Dash.
Correct.
Each target's current maximum hit points increases by 5 for the duration. So hit points increased by additional 5. That doesn't impact you from going back to full HP. That is overheal. And you keep it for 8 hours. So on your sheets, there's a section that says temp HP. You just go where it says temp HP, you just add 5. It should just be under your normal HP.
Do we add 5 to our hit points as well?
No. That'll automatically apply that and take that first. So you don't need to add that as well.
Okay.
This will automatically come off before. So if someone slaps you, it'll come off your temp HP first.
That's the blue thing, because it's not marked and written or whatever.
Okay, so when that happens, Eos, you'll see Dash looking at you kind of horrified. It's like, you can do that.
You better wake up, Dash. It's time to get out of here.
You can
just
do that?
For reference, Mr. Heidman, shall I end your suffering?
I'm not that bad.
That's what he said.
I didn't know she could do that.
Slightly.
You look like a chicken.
Chicken resembles that remark.
Having taken the heal from Eos, I'm going to stand up, spit blood on the ground, and rub my face, and then point over at the corpse and go, "Is it dead? Can somebody please make sure it's dead?"
At that time, you look over and Orla's there just pumping arrows into this corpse, screaming, "Shit!"
I'm just going to go over and really, because I'm so hurt, like a toddler kicking something that has no effect. Just like,
You take D1 damage.
No! He just got
Just 1 point of bludgeoning.
Hatsu's gonna cram in his backpack and he's gonna hand Slate a potion.
So you have a common heal. As a reminder,
I'm going to take it and drink it, but straight away I'm going to say to Hatsu, I actually have some of these, but because it's there and it's easy, I'm just going to take it, and straight away I'm not looking in my bag for something I'm being handed. So,
as a reminder for those who watch
Omega heal.
For those who watch our campaign, it is Omega heal. For those who watch our campaign, we use a version of Rapid Drinker that we've been using at my table for a long time, which is just, if you use an action, you take the full heal. So if it's 1d10, for example, or 2d4 plus 2 or something, right?
So I'm about to cast one in chat, so you'll see it now.
So 2d4, +2, you can, if you do it as a bonus action, you roll the 2d4 and you add the +2. But if you take it as an action, you get the full heal. So 2d4, the maximum would be 8, +2 is 10. So they can take 10 health points as an action. But yeah, you can roll into chat there if you want to. I think it basically should just, you just add 10 to yourself anyway. I don't think it gives you the choice. Maybe it does, but I don't think so.
I've got the option to roll critical or normal. Will I roll one of those, or? I'm
not sure.
Roll it and see what happens if you want.
Just roll it and see what happens, yeah. I can't remember.
I roll normal and see what happens.
Either way, just add the amendment to yourself. You're going to assume you're doing an action
so 10.
anyway, so.
Yeah, that's 10. So.
You did nothing anyway, so just add 10 to yourself.
I'm going to put the stopper back into the bottle and then put my hand down on my knees like I'm winded and just like this hold the bottle out back to Hatsu in case he wants to keep the bottle for something, and just be heavy breathing and say thank you. You
can imagine Hatsu making jams.
He would actually take it though. You know, you can see poison there and shit, you know?
You never know how to command it.
Even when wounded, still the thinking man.
He was going to shout down to Orla and say, "Is he dead?"
Well, this man is.
Well, I think we didn't fight this man, to be honest.
Have we seen that radius of damage before? Orla, have you seen that?
No.
Powerful entity, I guess. So, I'm curious, what if that entity possesses different creatures? You described that you have seen animals that were burning hot fire and other creatures that showed similar appearances. What if all the relics that we saw could hint to an entity that possesses things because it doesn't have an own body anymore?
She stands there quietly for a moment, then draws one more arrow and puts it back into the corpse anyway, making it like 15 arrows. She's just plucked into this torso.
Hatsu, I'm buying what you're selling. I say we go back to the cave and fuck that shit up. Everything in there.
No, we'd make this far worse.
I'm with Eos on this one.
Worse than a creature that doesn't have a body that possesses things and blows them up? Do you want to be possessed next? Or just leave the village to be continuously possessed until it's destroyed?
It can't possess me, there's too much going on already.
What if this is in a good mood?
I'm going to drop to my knees and start taking my time to investigate the body. Obviously, for any items that remain undamaged, I'm quite cognizant of the fact that I have a bracer that means something to me. So looking for objects of, magical nature that sometimes resist damage. So I'm looking for that, but I'm actually also looking for anything like areas of the skin or body, or like when somebody dies, you get spatter from blood. In terms of the force, was there anywhere, anything that stands out as odd or anything that's different? Was it, is it symmetrical all the way around? Is it even? Basically just investigating to see what jumps out at me from the scene.
Yeah. I'm going to paint a picture for you. The torso is in parts, not just one piece. One splint of the leg and up to the knee joint is just firmly stuck into the tree. There's a burn mark on the torso in the shape of a hand, a large hand, much larger than a human hand. The torso itself is mostly bone at this point, with fragments of meat on it that is almost cooked. Had it have been a little longer, or had the blast been a little bigger, you would imagine that this would line up pretty well with multiple variants of torso that you have seen throughout your travels in these caves.
going to relay that to the guys and explain that there's a handprint here. This looks similar to some of the corpses we've seen. Not as badly burned, but pretty close, and the size, etc., looks very similar.
What I'll say is make an investigation check for me, and there's a little bit I can add here, depending on your roll. And then I'll come back to you, Hatsu, and hear what you have to say. Sorry, pal.
13.
The only thing you'd get with a 13 is if there's flesh on the body, but there was a burn radius that was melting metal, that means that's an exterior facing radius. It's not emanating from the body itself. It's emanating from something beyond that point. And that could be the reason that you're alive. Because you took a lot of damage, but Dash took almost the same amount of damage, and you were a hell of a lot closer. So there might be something there to pull from. Anyway, Hatsu, what were you going to say, Paul?
Well, I think we all agree we can't fight it in that form. So, before we try next, we should maybe investigate techniques to bind a bodiless entity like that.
Unless it's invisible. Just saying.
The question would be, if it could exist without an own body, why didn't it burn that person from the outside? Why didn't it burn us and came after us? It must be somehow related to the volcano. Otherwise we wouldn't see all these dead bodies with the same marks, I guess. The question would also be, how does this entity select the creatures that it possesses? Has there be something like a mark or certain conditions? Because it didn't possess us after it was done.
It could just be like a lot of creatures, proximity to their lair, defending their turf. Maybe just the amount of energy required to do that. It has to gather itself before it can do it again. There might be a time delay. Because from all the stories we've heard, it's been one at a time with gaps. We haven't heard anything about multiples on any occasion. So it's possible it could be that as well.
So what if that entity just has a certain time frame to do what it does? And a certain range, maybe?
For what purpose, though? Is it feeding or is it vengeful? It seems
Some entities uses souls to gain power back. That's what I've heard.
Correct. They collect them. They feed off them.
Did it speak to you, Hatsu, when it transformed? It almost looked like it recognized you.
I don't know, you were closer, weren't you? I think I did recognize the cloth somehow. I was looking for hints. Then somebody stepped that person and he turned into a fucking bomb.
I don't think he was turning into a bomb anyway.
I'm trying to say is I didn't have time to proper inspect.
What would someone wearing garb from Saigonotoshi be doing out here?
Oh, it's not from Saigonotoshi, but might be from the outskirts. I'm not sure.
Lissa is tending to Dash's wounds. Ayami is inspecting Hatsu's. Unsurprisingly, from the combination of heat and cold. A storm is rolling in above. No rain, just snow, and thunder rolling in the distance.
Based on what we've just experienced of the extreme heat and the distance it traveled, etc. Obviously, this was outside and it was in the cold and it was able to spread at a rate. And we've seen different levels of char. To some points, they've been completely destroyed and then some less so. Would I be able to extrapolate whether this had happened in the cave and that's the reason they're all reduced to ash, because it had nowhere to go and it was in like a tunnel or a tube and the heat had nowhere to go? Do you know that type of way? That is it possible that that something like this happened in the cave, which is why all those people are ash people, basically? The heat was so sudden, so fast, and expanded so far, so quickly that they were burnt all the way down.
We saw limbs embedded in the ceiling in the cave.
Exactly, yeah.
That's not a question that I can answer. That would be a question for the party.
I think you're probably onto something, Slate.
I mean, as far as I'm concerned, one way or the other, this is either a hunting ground or whatever, but all creatures rest or live somewhere or spend time somewhere, and it strikes me that that place is where we've been, and everything points back to whatever it is we found down there.
The location that we're at, DM, does this look similar to where we would have seen the magically hidden exit from within the cave? Does this look like the exterior of that, or anywhere close to it?
No, you guys are much further away from that, but there's caves here too, but the odds are that they're all interconnecting anyway. This whole mountain range has caves.
Yeah. We knew that they went on and on and on, so it's fair to assume that they connect in other places.
Slate, are you suggesting we should have pulled the thread on that particular idol in the cave? Is that what you were getting at?
Well, I'm suggesting that whatever's in that cave, in that room, in that area, isn't natural, shouldn't be there. Whatever that thing was that we just saw also isn't natural, also shouldn't be here. They seem to be within a proximity. There's evidence that shows this kind of thing has happened down there. Take it as ground zero, patient zero, whatever you want to call it. That particular area hasn't been burnt or destroyed like every other tunnel and area outside of that. So there's a connection. What exactly that connection is, further study. But it's definitely a component to solving this puzzle. It's a piece to the jigsaw that we're missing, and a piece that I don't think we can understand unless we go back, knowing what we know now.
I don't think we can go back in our current state anyway. Sorry, that's it.
What if the people that started the whole process, you saw the apparatus inside, right? What if they started something that propelled itself and took their lives as well, and is now starving for souls to gain back power, to become more powerful, maybe? Because that apparatus looked very sacrificial, if that makes sense.
It did.
Like I say, unnatural.
By the way, Ametriana's gone. Some people showed up. Some people showed up in some sort of portal. Told her she was needed, so she's gone, but I think she'll be back. Seemed important.
They took her, or she went with them?
She seemed to beat the shit out of one of them before willingly going through the portal, so I think it was very much her choice.
Great. Could this day get any better?
It could. Storm.
Fuck.
Yeah, we better get you somewhere safe and dry, Mr. Stabby Stab.
We can discuss that when we're out of danger.
I'd be okay to discuss it now.
Sure. I mean...
Eos presses his nose and says, "Goose."
Piece of his skin comes back with her finger.
Ew.
Wow.
I mean, what do you want me to say? I saw him burning. He seemed in agony. I acted because I believed it was the kindest thing I could do. We're out in the wilderness, far from any real help. I didn't know we had magical abilities that could heal. I thought he wasn't going to survive, not with those burns or in that state, so I made a fucking hard choice where I come from. Letting someone suffer like that is the ultimate cruelty, and ending it quickly. It's not about disrespect or murder. It's just give him peace.
Dash, would you stop
He
moving? Please.
kind of pats his shoulder and says, "We live and we learn. We live and we learn."
Wait. Did we learn, though? Looks at Dash.
I'm not asking for forgiveness.
We're not getting any.
I'll stand by my actions because I believed it was the right thing to do. I know not everyone agrees with me, and you would have different views on it, but where I'm from, where I grew up, that's the kind act to take.
I'm just going to throw it out there and say, seeing as we're all traveling in a group, something like that happens. We won't always get the chance to discuss it. But
yes, speaking of group, how many of you can fucking heal with magic? That would be vital information to know before I made that decision. I didn't know you guys could fucking do that. I thought, sure, in the school, great. We have healers and nurses, and
I take out the healing potions in my bag and clink them together and go, "You've seen these before, right? Even if you didn't know the other bit."
I saw that. That did fucking nothing for him.
You can't throw a bottle at him.
Hatsu pulls out the healer's kit and he goes like, "Well, didn't I told you that I was kind of the medic of my unit?"
Oh, fuck.
You never asked me if I had healing spells.
I thought if you had something like that, it would be vital information that you would share with the party that you're traveling with going out into the dangerous wilderness.
Dash, you feel a sting as Lissa pulls one of the bandages.
Thank you. Oh, fuck.
I don't suppose any of you have any burn cream?
No, I like
no cream. I have something different. And he hands over another healing potion. I'm gonna send it to Dash, but like narratively, I would say he would hand it over to Lissa.
Sure, no worries. Yeah, send it to Dash. Yeah. She'll pop the cork and she'll, like midway through whatever next sentence Dash starts, he's just gonna feel the bottle press into his mouth.
While that's happening, I say, totally unrelated, but just in case you need to know, pee is sterile. Just,
Too cold.
Has he been to Belgrade?
No, he's been to Pisputin.
What do you guys want to do? The storm is getting stronger. The night sky illuminates every so often.
I think I'd turn to Orla and ask her. She knows the area better than anybody. So I would say, based on your knowledge of the area, where is the best place to shelter? Do we go forward or do we go back? Because you know more than we do about here.
When you say that, you look back and you see Orla kneeling next to the body, the bow just beside her. She looks defeated. Your question doesn't even resonate with her.
Well, I guess a good idea is to go back where we know it's safe and we already rested. So we know that spot is a good spot to have a rest. We can get the tents up. There's some trees scattered around.
You guys ran from your campsite, so.
Mm. Oh, true.
I'm going to go over and kneel down beside her, very close to her, almost touching her, like really close, but without making contact. Respectfully kneel beside her and say, "Did you know them?"
No. But I've never faced a creature like that before either. What is this thing? And what hope do we have if magic like that exists in the world? This morning, the most difficult creature I'd faced was her, pointing to Eos. And then this is just death incarnate. What if it does it to the town? What if it does it to Palperoth? What if it does it anywhere?
Any creature that's ever been encountered for the first time somebody fought a bear or otherwise, that's how everybody feels. They don't know what it is, they don't know what it's capable of, and fear rules the day. We need to regroup, we need to make a plan, we need to think about it, we need to learn about it. Everything can die. It's just a matter of how. Right now we don't know the how, but I'd also like to get out of here before it comes back. So...
She picks up her bow and she stands up and she nods towards you in understanding, but that's the best you get out of her. She starts heading towards the campsite again.
Are her arrows still in the body?
Yeah.
I want to go and take them.
At 15 hours or so.
When I went through the body and investigated, etc., did I find anything on it, in it, around it, or anything like that of any interest?
Most of it be worn away, gone. But what you do find fascinating, in what is remaining, there's nothing that would suggest that this person had any kind of backpack or any kind of camping gear or like anything that you would imagine someone would have being this far out from anywhere.
Similar to others we found before, they weren't wearing quite enough layers, and okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. What I'd like to do is just take the body as it is and put it onto the sleigh with the other body we have from earlier.
It mostly dissolves into bone, and bone fragments just fall, so you're picking up pieces and putting it with the other one.
Yeah, we'll take whatever I can for examination later.
Kind of follow-up question in conjunction with that. We saw a man burning in the middle of snow.
Mm-hmm.
There was no tracks leading to where he was. He was just there. Is that right?
There was also a sort of explosive blast outward from them that seemed to stop that. But yeah.
So it was like he appeared with an explosion, almost.
The outward explosion was a result of Orla shooting at him, if I remember correctly. But there's nothing to suggest that they walked here either. Even if you look around now, there's not much of anything left in terms of evidence of that, but earlier there wouldn't have been any footprints. Yeah.
Well, I'll just point that out to the party. A particular observation. So, do we think it went somewhere to bring someone here?
No, it's gone for now, but it's not gone forever. Might be chasing its next victim.
Could be. But that person didn't seem to be local. A garb closer to Saigon Otoshi, that wouldn't be regular here. So is it searching away from here and bringing things back here to feed?
No idea, but we need shelter.
I think it's more likely that person has been wandering around here there are factions in this world that seek for powers like this.
So you think it gave
Not
itself up willingly?
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that we are not the only ones that got sent on missions.
Of course.
Well, there's all the researchers and all of the equipment they had for trying to what looked like do extractions of some kind.
We check out that research station, see what they're up to.
You're
Not right now, obviously. No.
If you want to go on your own, absolutely, but I'm tired.
Yeah. Next time I have a notion to run towards fire, will someone just knock me the fuck out? This is 3 times now, and it's never worked out well.
That's you. You're the quickest. You knock them out.
Against my better
Not
judgment, I decided to go with you. I don't know what I was thinking.
Here's a pro tip, Slate. If I decide to do something, do the opposite.
I turn, face everybody else like this, and start pointing at him. You all heard what he said. You all saw that, okay?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Witnesses.
Yeah.
Well, no matter what we learn from this, or how this is gonna be resolved, I think it's too complicated to do it as a side quest.
The elixir.
You're saying we should leave it for the short term? Report to those who perhaps know more and return?
Not much we can do about it ourselves, but maybe we can make some more friends that might be more knowledgeable about these things happening. Because these human factions are not the only ones that habit that area, I guess.
Very true.
I don't speak rabbit.
You speak rubbish, I think.
No, that's me.
Well, the only thing I'm worried about is what is gonna happen to Orla when we leave. Because I don't think she will quit hunting that thing down. Maybe we can convince her to get a rest and prepare for maybe a second round.
What do you think, Orla? Will you let us...
She's already gone. She's
Carry
walking
the
back
research.
towards the campsite while you guys are talking.
Oh.
I was going to say, I presume we're walking and talking. I was just about to say that
Okay.
we start making our way while we're
She would
discussing
still
all
be
this.
pretty far ahead, but you guys can choose whether to interact with her or not that way.
Yeah, suppose I'll bring it to her attention. That's our line of thought.
At the moment, she doesn't know what to do. Because there's no way that she can kill this thing. Because she just doesn't understand it at all. So right now she's thinking of ways to... Like what she needs to do. Does she need to get the crisis response unit involved? Because that's her only tool in her arsenal that's strong enough to defeat something like this.
I mean, it's a possibility, but if they get involved, does that give you anything in terms of knowledge going forward, or do they just come, close up shop, and get out?
I don't know.
I have a better question. If you bring them in here, do you or anyone you know in the vicinity have anything that you wouldn't want them to find out? Because they'll come and deal with this, but maybe this is a vote for your whole village to take, because while they're here, they'll be thorough.
Every stone gets turned over.
Mm-hmm.
And they will take everything and everyone they want.
Everyone's a suspect.
Yeah.
Even you, Dash.
I mean, maybe it's the right call. Maybe that's what needs to be done to deal with this. But
leave it to the people to decide. And we're, again, willing to help. We believe information is the most powerful weapon against this thing.
so maybe we head back to the village, regroup, rest, bring it to the village's attention, get some information, maybe bring a vote, what they think they might like to do, and then maybe we can put all the pieces together and see where we're at. Unless anyone has better ideas, of course. There's always go back into the cave and go back to that thread, as you put it, Dash.
There's a moment of hesitation from Ayami. And then she raises her hand, but towards Hatsu, who isn't here. So I'll sort of direct it towards the group. There is Kanami Muramori. He's from Sagunatoshi. He's a blacksmith. He's not best, but he's also an expert at spirits.
Just to clarify, you mean like ghosts and stuff, not like whiskey and vodka?
Ghosts and stuff.
Good. Gotta be sure, because I hear the whiskey and Sagunatoshi is not good.
I mean, either way, it sounds like a good stop.
It would mean a very different direction for us. It is in the opposite direction of our current task. At that exact moment, Hatsu walks back over and hears exactly what was just said.
Yeah.
Ayami had put her hand
interesting.
up. Ayami puts her hand up and recommends that the guys maybe, like, that you guys speak to Kanami Muramori, one of the blacksmiths from Sagunatoshi. He's not amazing, but he is a master of spirits. He may have some suggestion on what can be done to stop a spirit that wanders outside of its form.
Yeah. I'm thinking about something. What we would connect Remington, because I also see a chance to maybe change the minds of some peoples in this area. If we could provide help with this and not the crisis response unit, that might also indicate that there are also allies with different abilities that try to do good.
I mean, in theory, the years above us have more training and have been, that's what they're being trained for. So there could be some of them that are available that know more about this in their studies or have experienced it having left the school. So that's not a bad idea.
They haven't been around when we needed them in the past.
I mean, Remington did put a telestone in the backpack, right?
I think
Do
that's
you
it.
trust that thing, Hatsu?
Well, he did give it to us. For a purpose, I guess.
If he trusts Decker, then I mean, he's much more wise than any of us.
Orla, do you have messaging pigeons?
Back in the... We have couriers back in the town.
Okay.
You should
Strikes
some
me.
birds that send messages there. Okay.
Strikes me we go back to the town. It's the closest. It's only, the closest of anything to us. Rest up, get information, maybe use the telestone, maybe use the pigeons, maybe use both. Get a vote from the village anyway, so we know where they stand on whatever we decide anyway.
I don't think there's a world here where
Wait
we
out the storm.
don't communicate with the village on what they want to do. I mean,
Yeah, correct.
Then
I mean,
So as far as I'm
the
concerned,
village,
we go there.
The village
Agreed.
is a day trip away, right?
Yeah, we definitely
We walked the whole day.
camp for the rest of this evening anyway.
The other thing is, if we talk in politics, it might be better to have some answers before they start voting about something they don't know what they're voting about. Because they didn't saw what we saw, and they don't know how the crisis response unit acts. But we do.
So
That's
make
true.
camp, use the telestone, decide in the morning if we continue on, see what we learn from Remington. Rest up, heal up, wait out the storm, decide the next steps in the morning. We've got options.
Yeah, I think that's a wise course of action.
Hatsu moves on to the camp.
As does Dash.
Eos is still blowing circles with her breath.
Yes, nothing really phases you in a major way, it seems.
Just living.
As
That's
you
good.
make your way back to the camp, you all sit down. Majoriana's tent's still set up, but her stuff is gone. Each of you kind of disperses again. Rest was technically interrupted, but you don't need much to catch up.
I'll pack up her bits and bobs and put them on the sled, so the remainder of her tent and everything else she left behind that's of any import, just put it onto the sled so it's still traveling with us. She can get it back later. And then I'm going to go about the fire. I'm going to start cooking up some of the rations and gear that I have and let everyone go about whatever they decide.
Just mark off a
Well,
ration.
don't worry about the tent. I will put it back to the others. And Hatsu kind of puts it in the bag of holding.
Oh, okay. It doesn't really matter who does their watch for this evening. It's pretty stoic. The night passes, the morning comes. Dash, you are still desperately hurt, but you can roll hit die if you want, because this is a short rest. I would
absolutely,
advise
I'll do that.
any of you that are still injured or not healthy, maybe mark off a short rest and roll your hit die.
And roll a dice.
I've forgotten how to do the hit time foundry.
When you roll a short rest, it'll say, do you want to roll hit die?
Right, short rest.
I ticked the box to roll the hit dice, but I didn't see anything after I ticked it.
I feel
Yeah, but it only
Much better,
says
so.
there's D8 3 available, but I can't make a selection on how many I want to roll.
How did you
On the
just do it,
right.
Dash?
I just clicked roll. I rolled one.
When you click short rest, it pops up with a new box that says, do you want to roll a hit die?
Okay. I press short rest. Nothing happened.
Are you full health? No.
I see what you mean. I ticked the box underneath and then hit rest, which I think is what he did, whereas you hit the actual box that just has the dice picture and says roll.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
What I'm saying is on the select
There we
dice
go.
to roll, doesn't give me the option to roll 2.
Well,
I think
you can only
roll
each
one
time
at a
you
time.
click the box, it takes away one. So I rolled it once, and now I have 2 available instead of 3.
Yeah, so you can't select 2 to roll. You just roll 1. Then
Yeah, and then you hit the rest button to finalize, and that's what comes up in the chat box then. So that's something
Alright.
learned for all of us.
Thank
Yes,
you.
Thank you. So, okay. You take a little bit of time. You bring down the tents. You take a bit of the fireplace. You put the wood, any spare remaining wood, back on the sled. You kind of put everything together again. You obviously you've brought the body back. You've put it up here on the sled as well. Everything is ready to go. Is there anything else you want to do while you're here?
just a short conversation with Eos, probably.
It's no skin off my nose, but it might be skin off Dash's.
never seems to. It always kind of catches me off guard. The vast cultural differences we have here. Like the simplest of action that I or you take that's so natural for me, like yesterday, invokes such a harsh reaction from others.
Ooh, that's a weighted question, Dash.
It's more an observation. I mean, there's so much to learn, but even just the instinctual things that you think is the right thing to do. To others, it's a horrific act. It's interesting is what I'm getting at, I guess.
Let's put it in perspective. You grew up in what sounds like a very harsh reality.
Mm-hmm.
You grew up among streets of this place called Palproth that I've never heard of or read anything about. From what I've heard, you want to slay the king, whomever, whatever that may be. It could be a dragon, I have no idea.
No, it's a human man.
Oh, even worse.
He's
Okay.
a piece of shit. Right.
I grew up underneath a bookshop. The only interaction I've ever had with really people is serving customers. I have met humans on my little quests that I took, and I suffered for it.
That doesn't surprise me.
React and I do what I need to simply in what I believe is the good faith of me and or the gang.
Okay, so you kind of get it. But it's an interesting perspective. If I was to ask you, based on your interactions with me, what do you think Palproth is like? What would you say?
Well, you are the better of the bunch.
The city itself. What image presents itself to you?
Oh, I picture a vast city full of slavery among a desert.
Interesting.
People being carried around in cages being sold off to whomever wants to use them.
I mean, that's pretty much the reality I grew up in, but if you were to ask pretty much anyone else, ask Orla if she's willing to speak to you, they would describe this gleaming metropolis of gold and magnificent architecture and wealth and excess. They would describe it as almost paradise in many respects.
I don't know what paradise sounds like. A nice cup of tea and a window seat.
You're right. It's just... So I'm rambling a bit. So probably severely concussed, but it's just... It interests me that the vast differences in seemingly similar people.
I ask you one question though.
Always.
When you and Lisa do get married, are you going to go back to Palproth or are you going to find somewhere nicer?
If I should be so lucky to survive long enough to marry that woman, I hope I can take her as far away from Palproth as possible.
Do you think you'll survive the marriage though?
Yes.
Very good.
We have each other's back, so... Or at least halfway there.
There's no skin off my nose.
No, it's still some off mine, though. I hope that grows back quickly.
I'm sure Hasu has something for it.
I still can't believe I didn't know you can heal.
Never asked.
I didn't think I'd have to. I just didn't... It didn't occur to me, you know? Like you
it's
don't
not
ask...
really healing. It only lasts like 8 hours.
What?
Yeah, that's going to wear off pretty soon.
God, I'm going to have to take a magic class when we get back to the school, because this hurts my head.
Oh, that's the concussion talking.
Fair. Shall we get moving?
Did he really bring people around in cages?
In a manner of speaking.
Is a child catcher real?
I don't think so.
Oh, different book. Okay.
In my experience, she is real, and you've met her.
Slate.
Wait, how? You don't know how young you are, do you?
The good doctor.
That reminds me, I sent a letter inquiring. So hopefully I'll have some information for you when we get back to the school.
While they were packing and everything, getting ready, Hatsu would pick out the telestone from the backpack that Remington gave him. And he would go, Whirling Shadow to Crescent Pearl. Whirling Shadow.
There's about a minute delay. Oh yes. Hello, Hatsu? Shadow. Whirling Shadow. I'm not sure how
that
this
he's
works.
a boomer with technology.
It's pointed at his face. Like his forehead. There's no display on it, but he's still doing it.
That had some serious troubles here. We don't know how to deal with it or how to help the people. Seems like a entity, spirit, whatever, that possesses bodies and make them explode. Not catchable, not targetable. We almost died. We asking for advice. Over.
I see. Where are you?
What? I didn't understand.
Where
the last
are
one.
you?
You should know where we are. Copy that.
I'm afraid I do not. I would advise that if you are out of your depths, avoid at all costs anything that can cause you such harm. Do not die for this adventure. It's not worth it.
Think it's not directly related to this journey. It's more like something happening in the area here. There was a massive explosion at the volcano that we weren't aware of. It's a little while since it happened, but since then there seem to be odd things happening, and I think these people here are about to call in the crisis response unit. I thought that might be a good thing to avoid if we can kinda assist them with aid or at least information how to deal with it.
It really depends on how you want to proceed, but I advise not being there if the crisis response unit are about to show. What can you tell me about this experience you had?
We've visited several tunnels underneath the volcano. We saw bodies that were burned almost to ashes with a hand symbol on their chest. Later we found out that there's several people going missing. We found another body. Then a person died relatively close to us, in front of a lake. At first, it started laughing with like a flamish smile and flamish eyes. His body seems to boil from the heat. Then there was radiating heat from it out towards 120 meters, followed by a deep inhale. The radiated heat came back with a lot of air. That person's eyes turned white, and there was like an outgoing force of fire and bludgeoning damage coming towards us. I could barely dodged the most of it. Then that body just dropped dead, and no sign of that entity that might have possessed it. Over.
Right. Well, do you think it would be best if you came home, back to the Arcanum?
No, I don't think so. But what might be from interest is that we did find something like an altar in the depth of the volcano and a hidden door that was magically sealed. That sacrifice or altar area looks like it is related to the unnamed one, unspoken one. I'm bad at this. I might have to ask Eos. Over.
Right. Well, the unnamed one. It could be one of two things. One, it could be an altar, keeping this creature here for like a tether to this space in the world. It could mean either it's going to stop entirely if you destroy the altar, or alternatively release it upon the world. What context is the altar there?
There was a little chamber. We did find some kind of apparatus that looked like it had killed or trapped and killed. Like a humanoid creature, we did find bones and all sorts of stuff in there. But no, nothing more to that specific spot. The whole other cave system was full of bodies with these hand marks. We also found dead bodies from potential scientists, I assume from the Megaverse company, because they also have a lab nearby. Over.
All right. I'm not familiar with this entity, but I'm happy to do my research and see if I can find anything for you. Is there something specific that you're asking of us, Hatsu? Over.
Well, my thought was, if we can help these people in need, rather than they calling in the crisis response unit, we might swing this state for another presidency. Over.
All right. Well, in terms of this creature, we'll do our research. In terms of what you're asking, I will do my best. And in terms of information to give to Samuel, there seems to be some distortion when you start speaking. I will have a look at this as well. I'll mention it to him just to make sure. I'm pretty sure that's a bug, not a feature. Ultimately, my goal is to keep you all safe. If you would feel that this task would be better completed with an escort, I can send one. If you feel this task would be better completed by someone else, I can make this happen. If you'd rather come back to safety, I can make this happen as well. I'm not saying it is impossible for you, but you have been through a lot this year, and I'm not trying to add to that plate.
It's all good. We all keep Dash alive. You don't have to worry. There might something going on with Miss Bullet Fist. There was like something, like an urgent call or something. She had to leave, but I know she knows her way back. We will progress with the task And I put my trust in you that we hear from you soon to tell these people something that they don't lose hope. Over.
I mean, Hatsu, ultimately, if this creature is unknown and able to wreak such havoc, it might be better suited for something like the crisis response unit. All we could do is bring it death. But let's see what we can do. I will do my research, and if I cannot find the answer for you, perhaps I can find a direction for you.
Before you settle on your resume, let me just put something in. They will turn every corner, and they might also find our allies that have a hard time being unseen, I guess. Over. Gotcha!
That's really good. Hatsu, I believe you're right. Let me see what I can dig up for you in the next day or two. Just be safe. I will have people research in the library. It's become a bit of a state again since Eos left, unfortunately, so it may take a little bit longer, but we will do our best.
That's why I put all my trust in you, Sensei. And you can put your trust in us. We will find the allies, and we will complete the task. Over.
Of course. Stay safe, Hatsu, and my thoughts are with you and the rest of the party. Do me a favor and let me know when Miss Bloodfist returns.
Roger. Over and out.
Over.
And he puts the telestone back into the Remy pack.
Was Hudson speaking to someone called Roger?
Over.
I don't think he was. As you all begin your journey back to Dagtorp to regroup and perhaps plan the next leg of your journey, I believe this would be a good marking off point for you. The walk back is quiet, but time moves. And by the evening... Go ahead.
Yes. Should I do your makeup? Like, just so you don't walk in and get shot.
I've got the cloak. And Hatsu gave me the bandana.
Yeah, I mean, with that, I can just kind of...
Oh my god, she's purple! Get her!
I can white face you up a bit, you know?
Alyssa, please help.
Yes, I'll help. Dash, come here, your skin is running.
Wait, no, I'm trying to help Eos so she doesn't...
wrapping you like a mummy, but starts with the mouth. As you approach the town, it's nighttime and you can hear the people in the tavern drinking and having merriment, and you can see the people in the streets kind of diminishing as they return to their homes for the evening because it's getting colder, as it does. But that's where we will take our break. So we will be back in roughly 10 minutes-ish. During the breaks now, we have our new segment, which is the various clips that were made and released on our YouTube channel, everything as well, showcasing each of the characters. And in the meantime, you may also do a boss fight. So the predictions are up. You may make your predictions. You may jump in on the fight. And we will be back then in roughly 10 minutes. See you soon.
Bye-bye.
And we are back. Nice and easy, quick and breezy. That's some other words that rhyme too. We are back. We find our group within the confines of the tavern. Door opens. Orla immediately goes up and takes her seat, and she just starts knocking back lines. What are the rest of you
I'm
doing?
just gonna look at Slate. I'm just gonna go.
For podcast listeners, they nodded at each other.
Yeah. Straight over to the bar.
Straight to the bar.
To the private room, quote unquote private.
And Hatsu?
Katsu would follow Eos into the private room because he kind of doesn't like to see people what he's doing when he's drinking and eating.
A small army of NPCs follow you, and the ones that are just supposed to be with you, but I just don't remember everybody's name right now.
Fireball.
Fireball. No, Ayame and Lissa follow you.
Happy ball.
No, it's too late. You said Fireball.
Shit.
I didn't ask how big the room was.
No, she's in there.
Standard wizard.
Standard wizard. Yeah, so you guys are back in the tavern, yeah. Another day.
Knowing that the climate is harsh and life is hard in this area, having experience of, let's say, Penzance example, there's some similarities in the terrain, the people, the town. It's different, but in some ways it's the same. I'd like to take out my lute, and I'd like to kind of play an uplifting song, get an atmosphere, vibe going, try and lift everybody's spirits.
Is it this song?
I'm gonna stipulate though, I'm not using the magic one that
Yeah. That would be interesting. It's like, local man arrested today.
So I'm just doing my regular lute that I have, and just
Number of
you
the
know,
Beast by Iron Maiden. Gotcha.
yeah, and I'm going to take off my hat and throw it down in front of me, and then just play, and just
Play to your heart's content.
Yep.
Question for you, as he's doing that, the folks that I had interacted with a couple of days previously, are they present as well?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Did I notice any looks thrown my way when I entered, or when I sat down?
Not more than would be of a group of people just walking into a tavern. Everyone would look at you, but no, nobody's there like giving you like the finger across the throat, meaning death, you know?
Cool. Yeah, I'd like to kind of catch their eye, maybe just make my way to them and strike up a conversation.
Well, those guys aren't there yet at the moment, but like just normal people.
Okay, well, no, just like those guys specifically that.
I'll let you know if they come in.
Yeah, cool.
At the moment, it's still like you guys are in the evening time, but it's not late. Like people are still coming off their shifts at work and doing stuff now. Like it's like that time. It just basically is the cusp of sunset as you enter.
Perfect. I guess I'll just sit back with a drink and enjoy Slate's music.
And you do. And Slate plays his music and on the piano apparently. He plays his music and it becomes quite the talking point. People are really enjoying it. The merriment picks up. The booze moves faster. The food moves faster. Yeah. So what are you guys doing?
Putting drinks on our room tab apparently because I forgot I have no fucking money.
Would it be fair to say that, as you say, the drinks are flowing, that perhaps the business is getting more pints the more I play? And do you think that I could convince the staff that as long as the drinks are flowing and that we're helping the commerce in the area, that, you know, I play better when myself and my colleagues, you know, are fed and watered, so it's a mutually beneficial.
Why, Slate? I would need a persuasion check for such a thing.
May I assist? I will be there having this conversation with him.
You have disadvantage because Dash is helping you. Yeah, go ahead. You have advantage. 25. Hatsu, do you drink alcohol or just like, like a sparkling water kind of guy? What's Hatsu?
He would drink water, I guess.
But that I can give you for free. Eos?
She would either go for tea or sparkling water.
Sparkling tea it is. The rest of you get pints. A nice round is passed out of whatever your beverage of choice is. If it is alcohol based and heavy, as in like you're doing a whiskey or something, there's a con save. But if you're just drinking a pint of ale or something, you're grand for that.
Yeah, pint of ale.
Lissa takes your pint of ale and drinks it. And then puts the cup down in front of you, but so you haven't noticed because you're busy in conversation.
That shot is hitting me hard.
Did you get a 5 on a con saving throw? Holy shit. Slate has had a long day, man. He's sitting there just singing about a fire fucking ghost or something. I don't know.
The question is, can I continue to play well despite my intoxication? Because is it one of these, sometimes you play better, sometimes you play worse.
I'll say a performance check at this point, and I'm going to give you disadvantage based on that roll, but yeah, I think you'll still do all right. If you don't, I'll be really surprised. 17? You do 9. I'm pretty sure Slate could be like dying on the ground making death saves and still could do like the solo from Metallica's 1.
Playing the lute with his feet.
Yeah. Playing the lute with his hands. They're just separated from his body across the yard. Yeah.
It's been a long day and chilled to the bone. It was definitely going to be spirits to warm you up, spirits for courage, spirits to help you sleep. It was definitely a spirits kind of an evening.
Yeah. You're singing about spirits, but people don't really understand which one. Yeah.
I would probably just engage random people in conversation, just kind of generic conversation. Try
6 or 7 times you hear back. Are you from Palperoth? You sound like you're from Palperoth.
I am, yeah. But rather than like last time where he was trying to invoke kind of a negative reaction, it's just general engaging conversation. Like, what do you do here? How is life here?
For reasons.
What do you like? Just general chit chat.
For reasons you don't need to know. I need to know. What are you trying to do here, pal?
Nothing specifically really this time around. It's just he's in the bar, he's had a drink, so he's just there might be interesting people. He's just talking, see if he picks up any people of note, I suppose. Just trying to get a feel for the people here, what they're really like.
Yeah.
So not necessarily looking for anything, just talking. And if something useful comes of information or connections he might make, great. If not, nothing lost.
Yeah.
While this is going on, I'm specifically taking turns to play songs and stop, have a drink, walk over beside Dash, chat to people, play a song, stop. So I'm starting and going table to table, which allows me to somewhat listen in, somewhat hear what's going on, and dip in and out of conversations with people and or with Dash and the people he's with. So it's not a constant, like a performance up on stage at the front. It's kind of like going from table to table, chatting, playing little bits, stopping mid-song, so on and so forth.
Okay. So you guys are getting to know the random tavern goers. There's nothing you're really trying to ascertain here. So there's no kind of checks required. There's no problem. Generally,
I suppose, subconsciously, I suppose there is kind of like trying to make a good impression as opposed to last time. Just kind of get his work crowd vibes back.
What I'm going to get you to do is a persuasion check. I'll give you advantage, but there's no failure on this. I just want to see how well you succeed. Okay?
It's a dirty 20.
Good, because I didn't know what the hell to do if you got a nat 1. Yeah, I really don't know what I would have done if you got a nat 1. Dirty 20, you do really well. Yeah, you're leaving a good name this time as opposed to last time when you left like the worst possible name behind. When you do go back into the room to sit down at your chair, the one you sat at last time and stuff like that, you do find etched into the table is a small crown. It is imbued with a small golden thing that just looks to be paint near where you were sitting.
A small crown.
Etched into the table, yeah, where you were sitting specifically. You'd be the only one who notices this.
Where I was sitting last time or where I was sitting this time?
At the table in the room where you guys have your privacy, where you were sitting last time.
I will draw Lys's attention to that.
She'll raise her eyebrows, and you'll hear a small click. She'll take out her dagger, and she'll just cut the crown in half and pop her dagger back in without saying a word.
Yeah, I assume she's like sitting next to me. Yeah, once after she's done that, I just kind of like smirk and rest my hand like on her knee.
There's always one in every town, Dash.
Hopefully only one.
Hey.
Strange. Did you ever get the feeling the numbers are in our favor, just people don't realize?
I'm sure they feel the same. So what do you make of that Ola one? Are we going to gut her like a fish, bow to stone, or... She says one more thing to Eos. I'm going to throw her from the top of the tallest building here, and considering it's not very tall, I don't think it'll do much damage.
Yeah.
Well, I think we should talk to her.
Yeah,
At least we had an agreement, right?
I suppose.
I hate to leave jobs that I took and that are not finished.
I hate to see my friends get shit on.
I don't think Orla realizes that we have much more in common than we do that separates us.
Always trying to find the middle ground, Dash.
Well, if we try to kill everyone that hates the likes of Eos, we will spend our entire life murdering most people here.
Worth it. Imagine how good the place will be when we're done.
There's an argument for that, but eventually you kill enough people, someone's coming for you. It would serve us much better to turn her to an ally.
I generally appreciate the efforts everyone's putting in for me, but let's finish the job and just get out of here.
Well,
With
the thing is,
wings, these are great.
They're from Elephant Castle.
I suppose the argument there, Eos, is that it's not your representation of a much wider issue. I mean, it hits home much more when it's you.
Oh, but Dash, my friend, crusades were made in the past, and some have made it and some have failed.
But eventually one succeeds. Not now. Obviously, we have a lot to learn and a lot of growth ahead of us. But
When I learned something so far, then, that you can't heal people from stupidity.
Correct.
why are you staring at me?
The whole table's staring at you.
If you think I'm stupid, you should see the people that I rob.
Listen, how many robberies was he successful in?
I will say many
I mean,
negative things about Dash, but I will not say one negative thing about his thieving skills. He is almost as good as me.
I mean, he's good enough to rob your heart, right?
Hey,
A bartender comes in and puts down the ale in front of Dash, and she just chugs it.
Well, anyway, I think we should talk to her. Remington is about to do some research and might be able to at least give us a hint what we're dealing with. And even if we can't heal stupidity in people, we might be able to change their perspective and give them some hopes, so they also learn that they have other tools to deal with things, not only hate and death.
Hear, hear. Did you tell him about him, Adriana?
I did. He requested that we immediately reply when she comes back.
Okay, good.
I also promised him that we will prolong with our, let's say, journey.
Yeah, I think that's wise. I mean, if he's as old as Remington says, he may have encountered something like this before.
Mm-hmm.
And in case somebody will, let's say, call in entities that might be a problem for our friends as well, we should be there first to also warn them.
Right, and we should not be here.
Food is good, though.
It is, isn't it? I didn't see much in their trade posts, but they get the good stuff in here.
We should probably check with Orla how they are with the crisis response unit, because maybe they don't use them. Maybe they don't know how to contact them. Maybe it's not even in their thoughts. Maybe it's only something that we've suggested. They may not even...
Didn't Ola tell us that she did bring entities to the crisis response unit to claim her reward? So there
doesn't mean they've
small...
had them
must
here,
be a
but
small unit, yeah, maybe. She said she did bring it to the research center, as far as I remember.
Should I go get her? Ask her to join us?
Let me finish the wings and get into my maze before you do that.
Good call. What did you get for mates?
Stew with rice.
Oh, that's a good call out here. Spicy?
Chicken wings are amazing.
I'm not going to tell you what goes into perpetual stew.
They said it's beef.
Today, probably.
Yeah, it might be rabbit tomorrow. Kind of gamey.
But I heard them describe it as mystery meat.
I mean, that's perpetual stew. It's always there. It's always hot. They're always adding to it.
And an inordinate amount of buttholes, I'm sure.
I'm pretty sure it said beef on the menu.
I haven't seen a single cow since we got to this island. Yes.
No, they might keep them inside in the winter.
All right. Should we talk to her?
Yes.
There's like a moment's hesitation, then she just stands up and she goes to go fetch Orla while you guys are talking.
I was going to go anyway, but... Sure, I'll go with her.
Sure. Orla, can we speak to you for a moment? Orla is quite drunk.
This should be fun.
She turns around and she stands up to go walk in and just kind of like sways steadily in the spot as she tries to catch her bearings.
I'll just kind of catch her by the shoulder. Would you rather we wait until the morning?
Who's to say there will be a morning?
I'll just look at Lissa and just kind of let out a sigh of knowing this isn't going to go anywhere near the way we'd hoped.
You lead her in and you sit her down and she just puts her feet up on the table and leans back in her chair and like is kind of on the cusp of leaning back a little too far, and Lissa just kind of corrects the chair placement.
Ola, I know it feels devastating to lose a battle, but be committed to help you, and I want to say to you, a battle doesn't win or lose the war. We learned more from the enemy than the enemy learned from us. So don't give up now.
There's something, she just like hiccuped, to be said about facing an enemy on common ground. This is not a common enemy, and this is not common ground. My failure today, and she just sort of like looks like she's kind of getting nauseous, means that tomorrow is going to probably be this town's failure.
It's only a failure if you don't keep going.
There must be a reason why this creature wasn't able to attack this town directly. Do you agree?
Makes sense. A bear doesn't walk into this town either.
It only picked singled out persons. And by the looks of it, one at a time. So at least we might have a little bit of time. We have powerful allies that do their research right now to give us some help with information maybe. And if anything goes wrong, we still have units to count on if we have to. I'm trying to say we might not be able to stay with you the whole time, but we will do our best to assist you in your journey and help to save this place with you.
She kind of looks around the table and then kind of looks around the table again because she forgot what she just looked at. She nods and she's like, and when you leave, I will be alone. That's the moment it will choose to attack. That's what we learned today.
Well, my impression is that we fucked it up enough that it might follow us, if you understand.
Maybe.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but historically, the victims have been somewhat far apart, so there should at least be a lull before the next.
I guess.
So there's some time, one way or another.
What if this is when it's at its weakest? Is this a mistake? Not attacking?
We don't know where it is anyway.
There's no bravery in going blind on something we don't understand yet, I think. So I guess we can help these people more if we stay patient and don't lose trust in ourselves and our abilities. You did so much for this place, and every time you did go over your boundaries to grow. And I'm convinced this will be the case this time as well.
Yeah. I just want this town to keep living. But with each sleeve, it becomes harder. Sorry, Slate, go ahead.
I want to use my sleeve to dry a portion of the table as dry as I can, and I want to dip my fingers into the drinks that are there. It doesn't matter whose drink it is, anybody's. Just get liquid, and I want to draw some of the symbols that came back in. It's perfect. I want to draw some of the symbols that we've seen in the cave on the table, and say to her, "Have you seen any of these? This is what we've seen in the cave. Have you seen these anywhere here in town, or do you know anybody who's been acting strangely here in the town?" And try and tie the two together in case she knows something that we don't, or something that she thought wasn't relevant, but now maybe knowing what we all cumulatively know.
She looks at the symbols and she kind of leans back and leans forward, and she's trying to like get a focus on what these symbols are. But ultimately, she's having difficulty even just seeing straight. It's possible she can't even read, like every day. So it's... Yeah.
I guess I'm just looking to see if she's seen them. Even if whether she can read them or not, she may know if she's seen them. Whether she understands them isn't the question, I suppose. It's just, has she seen any markings similar to these? So she might say, yeah, I saw it in Old Man River's hut down by the lake. It's been there for weeks. They appeared in the alleyway. She may not understand them, but just in case she recognizes them in any way is sort of the question.
She would have seen them mostly restricted to caves, but it doesn't mean anything to her, really.
Perfect. Then I'm just gonna take some time to make sure I clean them.
Strange. It's a small town. Everybody's strange, so...
Yeah, perfect. I just take some time to clean the table so there's no remnant of anything that I drew in the liquid. Just take some time, go back to contemplating.
Mm-hmm. Is there anything else you guys want to do this evening?
I'll tell the barkeep that someone's doing graffiti on his tables.
The barkeep comes and takes a look, and there's nothing there because Slate cleaned it off.
I thought it was etched in.
No, he did it with liquid, and then he wiped the liquid away.
No, I mean the little crown thing.
Oh, the crown! Sorry, the crown.
Yeah.
The barkeep comes in and goes, People get drunk and carve into these tables all the time. There's not much that I can do about that. Did you do it?
No. No. I didn't think you had that oil to the Sun King here.
Sun King's got loyalty everywhere, as far as I know.
Obviously, I just, I know, I kind of got the opposite vibes when I got here first. Or maybe it's just anti-Balbaroths.
I guess it's who you talk to. Also, people don't know where they land with you, so...
Could I just check something for a point of order? When you said it was carved into the table, did you say there was something about, like, some paint or some substance or something in it, that it wasn't just carved?
It was filled in with gold paint, like kind of a... Yeah, like a...
That's what I thought you said. I just want to be sure I didn't make that up. What I'd like to do is to step away from the table and get my loot and just do a round of the bar while just playing whatever. But actually what I want to do is walk around looking for the paint, because it's not something that I would think that most people would have with them, on them, use. And also paint is really easy to get on your hands, on your clothes, and to do it quickly, stealthily in a room full of people. Could have missed putting it back in your pocket, could be leaking in your pocket, you could have a pocket to have a wet patch, whatever. So I want to just take a low and slow around the bar, walking slowly like I was doing before, so everyone's used to me going table to table and going close to them and playing. But I'm specifically looking for paint and anything to do with paint or paintbrushes or anything that would follow up to that, just out of curiosity while the conversation continues.
Sure. You make an investigation check for me. So initially you walk around and you play some music. And as you do, you sort of watch in on everybody and kind of you're leaning over people. You're performing to each person, but it also gives you a rare advantage to try and see any distinct paint marks. 16. It's like right on the money. You'll find that, how do I put this? Two people enter that Slate wouldn't know. You're playing your music and you look as they enter and they sit down. And one of them, as he just goes to click to the barkeep, has like a little bit of gold filling on one of the fingertips.
He clicks at the bartender. He must be a prick.
But Slate wouldn't know who they are. That's what I was trying to approach in my head. I was trying to remember if Slate... These people have been here before, but if Slate has seen them or not. I don't know.
What I would do is, they're ordering their drinks. I, make no mind, work my way around, keeping an eye without keeping an eye, because I'm looking at everyone going to table to table, rinse and repeat. And then I would go towards where the others are in the corner and motion to Dash from us, whether it's a nod, however I can get his attention without taking my eye off of them or without completely leaving the vicinity of where they are, that I can get his attention.
Dash, you definitely know who they are.
No.
And then I'm just going to point at the table, and I'm going to walk over and just dip my finger in the paint and go like this, and point at the two of them, and then just wipe my finger and go back to doing the rounds.
What's kind of cool is that Slate could make his finger gold and then go back to normal. Like, it's Slate. He can just do whatever the fuck he wants, man.
I could, but I specifically am not doing it that way.
You're in the other room now. You've kind of gone back into the other room where you have some privacy anyway, so you're okay.
So they were all TPK'd by everybody in the bar. The campaign ended.
Bartender takes out like a fucking minigun.
Yeah, I was an adventurer once, so I took an arrow in the knee.
Like a minigun to the kneecaps.
Cool.
That's the real race threat. Yeah, so you know who it is.
Yeah. So, noting that, I'll just kind of give a little tacky talk, watch my back so that Lissa will pick it up, and I'll pick up a couple of beers and make my way to them and just kind of present it to them. And
aren't you a little ugly for a barmaid?
I feel like we got off on the wrong foot recently. You have to forgive me. I felt I had to put on a persona to see what kind of folk were in this town, being new here.
Oh yeah, us folk have a good idea of who you are, what you're doing in our town.
What idea would that be?
Oh, well, we hope you didn't take any insult from anything we said. You or Your Highness.
No. Of course not. You know I'm not like one of the king's court. Or do I have any real direct access to him? You been painting?
What are you trying to suggest?
Oh, I just noticed a bit of paint on your finger. Are you an artist?
Oh yeah.
Absolutely. Oh, cool. What do you paint?
A lot of red art. And then Lissa, you see Lissa just slide in out of the group, and she puts a dagger down around this guy's kind of arm, who has his arm on his dagger. And she's like, "Are you sure you want to do that?"
I'm just holding eye contact with him. Red art with gold paint. Interesting.
Yes, well, you know what they say. Perhaps I'll paint a nice picture for your majesty. Hail to the king and all that.
Can I get a read on
There's two guys,
No,
so
I'm
one of
trying to-
them is a little bit more like well-dressed formal. Well-dressed formal attire, but the other guy who was initially talking, he's more gruff-looking.
I'm just trying to make sure I didn't misread the symbol. Do they put that there kind of as to show their loyalty, or to take the piss out of me assuming I'm loyal?
That's a good question.
That's what I'm trying to read.
You can make an insight check if you want some clarity on this, but
Yeah. So it's... That is 7.
7. It's really hard to tell. Whatever you have picked up, Kian, in terms of this, I would say you know. But whatever kind of assumptions you want to make will just be that, assumptions.
It was me here. Do you consider yourself loyal to the king?
I have no loyalty to anyone outside of this tavern. Me neither.
Are they lying to me?
Taking this session.
$18.
They're lying.
Why would you lie about that?
Are you accusing me of something?
I mean, it's, we live under his rule. Why try to hide the fact that, that you respect our king?
It's not so much about respecting the king, the dapper one says. It's just that those who live in glass houses. And then the other one chimes in, yeah, and those with glass jaws.
Like yourself?
He stands up and there's like... He's the same height as you, so it's not like he's like towering over you, but what you have in terms of speed, he has in terms of strength. The gruffer one is a very large gentleman.
As he's standing up, I want to try and nab his dagger.
The more dapper one sort of brushes like Lissa kind of aside, and he stands up and he's like, it doesn't have to come to this.
I remain seated. I'm sure I don't know what you mean.
He puts his hand on the big gruff dude, and he just makes him sit down, and he himself sits down. He turns to look at Lissa, but she has vanished into the crowd again.
I simply like to get to know people. You seem to be addressing me in bad faith.
I'll tell you what. Meet me behind the tavern later, and I'll let you get to know me real well. Without all these prying eyes.
Sorry, I've spoken for...
He gets really embarrassed because he realizes how you took it, and he's like, not quite what I meant. Let's take it.
It's okay. No, look, I'm very flattered. It's honestly, it's flattering. But no, I mean, look, kudos to you for laying it out there like that. I respect it. But no. Look, I've disturbed your evening enough. But look, no, it was honestly, it was lovely meeting you. Honestly, it was lovely meeting you. Have a good evening. Again, very sorry.
It's just not how I. It's not how I.
No. Don't worry. Don't worry. It's fine. It's fine. Don't look. It's fine. It's fine. I understand. I get it. It's fine.
Yeah, we'll see you around, I'm sure.
Take care. And I'll just kind of lean and whisper, hail to the king, and walk away.
Yeah, so you do.
I'll give Slate a little wink, walk it past, and make my way back to the group.
Hail Hydra. Yeah, so you
Glad you got the reference.
That's all I can think of it.
That was literally it,
yeah. So Captain America enters the room once more. You...
Or should I say Captain Vulcanus?
Captain Vulcanus. It's a sick name, actually.
That's actually a sick name.
Yeah. Instead of a shield, he just has a volcano. Yeah, so... A whole volcano. You sit down at the table again, and barely seconds later, Lister rejoins you and sits down beside you. Hail to the king.
Not the first time I've said it.
Yeah, but it makes me sick when you do.
I know, I'm gonna need another drink. Probably something stronger. What did you make of them?
Please don't get something stronger. I won't be able to drink it for you.
Let me have this one.
Yes, darling, you were about to speak.
When you talk to me, you don't like the king. But you're sitting
Yes, darling, I lied.
with the emblem of the king. You walk in here saying, "Hail the king." Why are
Yes.
you the way you are?
I'm a liar, my dear.
I know that.
Sorry, I was in character. It's what I do.
But why?
I think they call
Brings out
it
the worst in
Stockholm
people.
Syndrome or something.
That's a town near the lake.
No, that's Stockholm. The
It's
armory.
not canon.
It can bring out the best in people, it also can bring out the worst in people. And in the last hour, I've seen both. There's some very lovely people here I get on very well with, and there's some dangerous, well, they think they're dangerous people, but you would make short work of them.
I'm more concerned for you because this may not go the way you. I don't know what are you intending to do? Incite a riot?
No, just get to know people. Apparently you get to know one of them too much. I think he was coming on to me.
Back at the bookshop, when there's a local election and people come to the door, my mother puts a bucket above the door. The bucket comes down on them. She has a sign saying no soliciting. Yet they solicit.
Or she needs legal help.
She has books.
Okay. But what's that got to do with what I was doing?
I'm scared for your safety. There may be people here I don't know who don't like the king.
There's definitely people here who don't like the king, and there's some here who absolutely love him. And there's even more, I think, who really don't give a shit either way. They just want to get on with their lives and not get sucked up in it all.
Rightfully so.
Understandable.
Slate, do you have your hand up?
While this is going on,
Okay.
I'm still in the other room.
Okay.
And what I'd like to do is to...
Very quickly, just to interject. If you're in the other room, all you hear is, "No, but I really wasn't trying to hit on him."
Well, what I want to do is, because I was going table to table and I've been playing songs all night, and thus far they've gone really well, and thus far everybody seems happy, drink is flowing, the staff are happy, the bar is happy, everyone in it has a vibe, and I've been going table to table and sitting with people and drinking with people and playing songs and moving around. The guys that are sitting, these guys that we just talked to, that he just talked to, is it a booth? Is it individual chairs? How are they seated?
There's tables and stuff like that. There's the actual bar itself. There's a separate room where your friends are at the moment. And in this main room that you're in, there are tables and stuff. There's also loose chairs around the place. But these two happen to be sitting on what look more like kind of armchairs, and they're facing towards the fire. But when they were talking to Dash, they would have sat at a table with Dash. They moved since.
Perfect. So the fact that they're at two armchairs, say they have I presume there's a small coffee table or something where they have their items on it and they're sitting in the two chairs. What I want to do is make my way towards them, but not in a direct line. And I want to start stepping, something like this. I want to start stepping up onto people's chairs while they're sitting on them, and stepping on their table and playing songs, and then stepping down and moving around like that. So when I get to them, I want to step on the two arms of the chair and step over them while playing, like I've been doing to everybody else. It doesn't matter if it's awkward, doesn't matter if it's uncomfortable. It's part of what I'm doing. But you know, when you go to get down, you put your hand on someone like their shoulder to step down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm going to stop playing to get down, and as I get down, I want to basically try and search the rich guy's pockets as I step down off him by rubbing off him and kind of falling on him, and then, you know, trying to walk off playing. That's what I want to attempt to do.
I feel like you are in a really cool position to really, and I know you're not gonna in this particular setting, and I understand why, but I feel like you're in the really good place to do like the Robin Williams genie thing, like he faced 1,000 bad guys with swords, and then you like change into someone else and you pop out of the crowd, like he's got like 75 golden camels, and just like you switch back and you turn into this other dude. Like
I need someone to make that. Like,
just with Slate just stepping across the bar, and every time he passes somebody, he turns into somebody else. I would love to see that shit.
In a different bar, in a different place, I think that might happen, and I think that's probably still to come.
Someday, I'm looking forward to it, man. Keep that in your back pocket. Yeah, so you step across and you step across their chairs. So sorry, you're trying to. I got lost in my.
So I want to step across their chairs, so they see it coming, and when it comes towards them, I'm sure they stop talking or whatever, and then they're probably going, "Oh, this is awkward." And then I step from one, like at the armchair, I step on one arm and step across them, and as I step down, I'm putting my hand on his shoulder to step down, and then I'm gonna basically like slip and fall, and then like search his pockets, and then stand up and start playing and try and walk away.
Give me a sleight of hand check because he's distracted. I'll give you advantage because he's turning to his friend, the gruff one. He's the well-dressed one is turning towards the gruff one, and he's saying, "And now you're getting dances from guys." 17. Yeah. So I mean, there's two things. So one pocket has something of a card in it, and the other has coins. So you can kind of go for whichever way you want to go here.
I'll take the card, so I'm not looking for money.
Okay. With a 17, you manage to take the card. And the gruff one is like, for fuck's sake.
And then I want to fall onto the gruff one to continue the fall and do the same thing.
Sleight of hand check for me.
Yep. So just normal for this one.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh my god, that's
natural 20.
Someone put that in the group for Ryan because he's not here.
So this one is two things I was trying to do, and it doesn't matter if you let me. The main thing I want to do is take his belt so his pants fall off when he stands up. That's the main thing I'm doing. If I happen to find anything in his pockets while taking his belt, I'm totally okay with it. But that was what I was going for. That's what the whole purpose of this was.
Right. Okay. I'll give you something else. So you're going to pull the belt off, but I will say that you feel the same thing. A card in the pocket and a coin pouch, but instead you opt to pull the belt. His coin pouch falls, the coins fall all over the place, and he's trying to like lean down and get them, but his pants are at his ankles, so he's like trying to stand back up, pull up his pants. Like his brain is sending the signal of coins have fallen, pick up coins, pouch has fallen, pick up pouch, pants have fallen, pick up pants, but he can't coordinate enough to which order he wants to do this in, because that only comes with time and experience, and he has neither of those things. So yeah. Every time I get excited about describing stuff, I flail my arms, and if I have to apologize more for the podcast listeners, because I fucking punch my mic stand so hard every time, man.
So with everything that was going on and how you explained that there, do I also get the card from his one, or do you want me to roll for that again?
Nat 20. I'm going to give you the nat 20 for pulling his belt without getting in trouble, and also getting a feel for it. I think that's a lot. So I'll say if you want to go for the card, you have to give it a roll. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Yes, not one.
And that one?
Yeah.
All things must balance. You go to grab it, and you tug on his jacket instead, because just at that moment is when he leans over to grab those coins. he's gonna.
I immediately want to start breathing in his face from the alcohol that I've had and start trying to persuade him that I'm really drunk and this is not what I mean to do, and say, look, I'm really sorry, where's the bathroom? And just start pushing him out of the way and pawing him and try and,
I'm going to give you a persuasion check with advantage based on how well you did at getting his pants off. This has been a weird evening for that guy. Okay.
23.
Yeah, so you say that, and with that you're gone, you beeline out, and he's like, before he's even comprehended what the hell that was, he's still trying to grab his coins, which are just all over the place, and his pants are like half up, and like one leg is higher than the other. It's a real weird thing.
So after I've bumped into him, taken his belt, everything's fallen, I've kind of breathed on him and been like, oh, sorry about that, whatever. I'm going to start stumbling a little bit, I'm going to start playing again, and then walk around the bar, not directly back, and then sort of head towards the bathroom, and then from that, I'm going to go back into the guys, and then produce the card to Dash.
Yeah.
I haven't read it, I'm just going to hand it to him, like open it.
Not
and,
a card like a birthday card, it's a
it.
card more like a key card or like a business card or something like that kind of value.
Yeah. Whatever it is, I'm going to present it in a way that I can see it, but give it to Dash, so I get to see what it is, but give it to Dash. And also hand Dash the belt. Like, there's the belt, there's the thing.
Yeah, you're now holding a very gruff, scruffy belt. Yeah.
Slate, you know what? I know better than to ask. Is there a pantsless gentleman out there?
Yeah, the gruff one who was a dickhead. This is from the other guy.
Slate, this is fantastic. What does the card say?
It's a black card with a white handprint on it, and that's all it is.
Slate, did you look at this?
Yeah, just now. But pantsless guy also has something that felt the same. Didn't manage to get out of his pocket. I think you should ask him into that alley after all.
Maybe. Question: does it look like a familiar handprint?
It's just a white handprint. It's not. Oh, are you're referring to that? No, it's not bony or skeletal. It's like an actual handprint. More akin to Skyrim than to Skeletor.
Is it similar to the handprint on all the chests of the bodies, etc.? Is it a similar?
Okay. Orla, can you focus? What does this mean to you?
It means there's a hand.
Why would people carry this on their person?
What am I, their mother? I don't know.
I'll place it down in the middle of the table. Any of you recognize that?
From my experience, as two things: as a bard, that would be in places like this and in membership-only clubs and things like that over the years, but also as a shape changer who pretends to be other people and has done for quite a long time. Would I recognize it to be the equivalent of like a members-only access somewhere, flash it to get in somewhere, something like that, or would it be reminiscent of that rather than I would know that's what it is? But is it reminiscent?
It would certainly be
something I wouldn't
reminiscent of
see.
that. But Alyssa looks down at it. Is this not one of ours? From our network?
You know I can operate on the very edges. You think so?
I'm not sure. Inside the hand is this kind of... It's like a sideways square, kind of diamond-esque shape with sort of a runic symbol on it. I don't recognize this spot, though.
Do I recognize the symbol?
You can make a history check. You tell me if you recognize it, you punk.
May Eos read the runic symbol.
Yeah.
That is 17 for history.
Well, how are you trying to read it, Eos?
She can read runic.
Ah, runic. Gotcha. Yeah, no, it's not runic, the language.
Not that.
It's Rune as in a symbol that is runic. It's not the runic language.
Disregard.
I will say make an Arcana check though.
Oh boy.
Scott Bakula just come in. Oh boy.
Boy, it's a 14.
14. I mean, with that, you know that it's non-magical, but it's made to look like it is. That'll probably be the 14iest way of me to say that.
You never know. It might remind people to wash their hands. That's what it could mean.
Potentially. Anything with the 17 on history then?
Sorry, of course. There are multiple guilds in this world that when they owe you one, or if you do them a favor, or if you, for example, hunt a prey, or bring in a bounty, or complete a task that otherwise would not have been completed without your assistance, they may give you what would be considered an IOU. This card is likely an IOU with somebody represented by the white hand of the runic symbol. The white hand is often used in cooperation with, let's call it underground black market-y type stuff, where you and Lissa might be familiar with selling stuff. But with this particular one, you don't know who this represents. The likelihood is it would be very surprising if it came from here, because this is a very small town and they usually operate out of much bigger places. There aren't too many of those on the map.
Okay. Next time the barkeep comes in, I'm going to ask him if he recognizes those two gentlemen that lost. The posh one, the one that lost his pants.
Yeah, I'll say it just for the sake of brevity, because we're kind of pushing the end. I'll say he comes in. Sorry, what's the question? You're asking me who those guys are, or?
Yeah, just curious. They just kind of stand out.
Yeah, they come by every few months and spend money, sure.
Every few months,
or spill money, I guess.
Yeah, they seem a bit, I don't know, uncoordinated.
Yeah, maybe they had one too many. Maybe they had like a pre-show before they came out.
Well, why not? Why not? If you have money, may as well enjoy it. So they don't live here, I take it. They just pass through, over and back.
No, best I know, they come from Broaderdeer.
Broaderdeer, okay. Well, thank you.
No problem.
You're
Here's
very,
your next plan.
very helpful fella.
No worries. Tell your friend thank you for bringing such lively energy to the tavern. This is the busiest it's been in weeks, months.
Yeah, live music makes a difference.
Yeah, I'll have to consider getting a band in, I suppose.
Yeah, absolutely. If we find some, we'll be heading back this way at some point. If you pick up some instruments on the way, I'll drop them in. So you have, house band at the ready.
I see you. Usually I need people with those instruments, but hey, start to start.
Yeah, no, someone might just come in and pick them up.
Who knows? Right, back to work. Time is
Take
money.
care. How do you spell Broaderdeer?
Broaderdeer. I'll put it in chat there. It's probably easier.
Cool, thank you.
It's not a regular D for Delta. It's like a Nordic.
We're kind of heading that direction, I gather, aren't we?
Are you asking me, or are you just asserting that back?
Just kind of back to the party in general.
It's the next stop before we go to, get to meet the magnificent creatures.
It's interesting that they are from that specific area.
Yeah,
It is.
traveling merchants or something.
It'd be more Lissa and I's style, I think.
Okay,
So
maybe we're traveling
what's the card for then?
bandits?
This is if you do someone a favor, generally speaking, you get this as a gesture, if you will, that someone owes you one back.
So it must be a very beneficial favor, I guess.
It would be, particularly if they have one. You said they had one each, Slate?
I mean, this came out of the better dressed fella's pocket. The other guy, when I was taking his belt and he was dropping his coins, I felt a card, probably the same. Didn't get my hands to it, unfortunately, but it was a safe bet.
Now, I'm in two minds. We could, if you all were so inclined, wait to have a discussion with these gentlemen in a quieter location and get what information they may know. Or
You
we
already
could
suggested out back in the alley. Just agree to that and you've got your location. It's quieter, it's out back.
Sure, we could. Or we could just simply hold on to this, keep an eye out for that symbol, and maybe cash this particular chip in for ourselves at some point.
Or do both.
Are you sure you're in the best shape for that, Dash, in case things turn south?
Yeah, I'll be honest, I'm not really one for fisticuffs if I can avoid it.
I love
sure
that
that's
because
only-
I know you're talking about his like physical, he got burned and stuff, but to me I'm just like, Dash is just sitting there, he just had way too many chicken wings, he's like way over the top, like he's just not the best shape. Sorry, go ahead.
I'm not sure that's the only type of fisting that man wanted to do with you, but up to you.
Well, see, the thing is, if I get into a scrap with him, I think knives are coming out.
Yeah.
He's a lot bigger, so, you know, straight up punching, not a hope. So I'd rather avoid that.
Well, so let's think about what kind of favor they could have done to get such a prize.
Could be any number of things. Could be, a simple hunt. It could be they, I don't know, maybe stole something for someone.
Maybe relying information where someone could find his daughter. Maybe relay information or mark people that can be consumed. Something like that.
I mean, whoever runs the research station has money. These guys are getting paid and they come through here regular. People go missing on the regular. Maybe it's a loose connection, but I think we're onto something. Sorry, yes.
It's just in olden times, according to the tales, such tokens, favors were handed out between people of certain temples and religions.
I don't think it's...
Might be connected. Maybe it's also religious.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean.
So you think I should try and get some information from this guy?
Oh, for fuck's sake.
You
Alyssa
and the
stands
stuff.
up and she just walks straight out the door of this room and towards those guys.
I see where this is going. Alright guys, keep an eye. I'll follow her. And, 1 second, I'll grab the belt.
You should stay here.
I'm gonna walk out ahead of Dash, start playing again, but go to a table beside them and sit. So I'm side by side the two guys, but on the table next to them. So I'm kind of shoulder to shoulder, but so I can listen, but I'm actually on the other table.
Okay.
Hatsu looks over to Eos and says, "I'm so sorry, Eos. I think I've been a bad influence
Why?
because I thought I was the bad guy, but unfortunately I'm not.
Oh,
They have become the bad guys.
You're the best bad guy. No.
I feel ashamed that I might have changed them for no good.
No. It's fine. It's fine. You should try the bread and butter pudding. It's delicious.
I can't eat that, sorry.
I know. They don't make a powerball form of it. Should we secretly sneak out and make sure Dash doesn't die with his little health he has remaining?
Honestly, let's enjoy having eat and drinks as long as we can.
Sláinte.
What is Lissa doing?
She's standing before the two of them talking.
Can I hear what she's saying?
No, but between you and Slate, you're going to get a lot of information here. Because two things are happening simultaneously. Slate, we'll start with you. What you hear is her just saying, "Gentlemen, I was just wondering, is there anywhere around here that I could get, some information, services, goods, things not readily available?" Dash, what you get, because at a distance this works, so you're using Takatalk. She's just got her arm up on her shoulder and she's just tapping away. And what she's asking them is, like, do you work for a guild? Or is there somewhere that I can go to find one? The two guys will look at each other, turn around and go, yeah. To both questions. Yeah. They lean forward and they look around and they kind of take a measure of the room and they're like, one of them beckons Alyssa to move closer, and she does, and he leans in closely, and then he leans back and sits and her eyes widen and she goes, "Fair enough. Enjoy your drinks, gentlemen." She tosses 2 silver across to them and they split and one goes to each of the people as she walks away. She walks back into the room and sits down at the table.
Oh. I expected drama.
You expect drama? Money buys a lot of information. Doesn't always have to be the silver blade. It can be the silver coin.
Fair enough.
The further you get from Pupperoth, the more you forget where you came from.
You know, almost the intention.
Right. Yes, there is a guild present here, but it is small and it is an offshoot of the one from Brotadir. They operate primarily from there for the whole length of this isle, or this section of the isles. So we would want to either check here, see if we can find whatever splinter group is here, or just go straight to Brotadir and ask them.
Yeah, we'll be passing Brotadir anyway, so.
Very well.
Fair enough.
It'll probably be easier to find there anyway.
Probably. Okay, I don't think there's anything connected to our thing as such. Dash says to the group as a whole. Lissa spoke to them. I think we're good. Well, we've rest up. We head towards Brotadir. I think we'll carry on our mission.
You're abandoning Orla to face his faith on her own?
I'm not sure what more we can do here, to be honest. We don't have enough information to defeat this thing. She's a bit too drunk to make any decisions, so we'll speak to her in the morning, I guess.
Atsu, what do you think?
Well, I'd say prepare, train, and be ready when we come back in a few days.
Prepare for trouble and make it double. Yeah.
Good advice.
Sippin', double dippin'.
Sir, I'll take a double.
I want to try to steal her drink.
Make a sleight of hand check. Disadvantage because she knows her.
Damn it. Not one.
Not one. For an 8, though. Not one. You feel a sharp sting, not as it breaks your skin, but as the tip of a dagger is pressed against the top of your hand, knowingly.
Oh. Damn it. One of these days.
I doubt it. She knocks back the drink. The night goes on. You go to your rooms for the final night that you have here. The music dies down. And the evening comes to an end. You begin to plan the next leg of your journey, where you'll be heading to Broader crossing the barren wastelands, and moving out to find, well, the biggest town that this place has to offer. And the last resting point before you continue the final journey to complete this quest that you are on. And as a reminder, you have a Hearthstone to take you home from there. So any journey you make after that, and a subsequent journey you make after that, is entirely optional. As is the quest itself, to be fair. Meanwhile,
Indeed, everything's optional.
Meanwhile, in the center of the Isles, there are a few places. You have the Crescent Pearl, a few offshoots, and you have Verdoir. And as you walk through the massive gates that greet you, and likely pay your tax for entry, you walk through the streets lit with neon and using a lot of arcane energy to power, and you approach the largest building. You climb those stairs, and you'd find a Madriana, preparing for the next leg of her journey. Arming, equipping, heavier armor than she would normally wear. Her group is preparing to make way to the next place for her. Ready to transcend one of the most elusive buildings. Deep within unknown lands to the Wandering Isles. We'll find out more about that soon. For now, we'll call an end to our session. We'll pick up next week as you guys approach Broader. And we'll hopefully find out how Madriana is doing as well. As we approach one of the final sessions. Penultimate session this year, I believe. And then we have one more after that, I think, if I'm correct.
Yeah.
And then we're done until January.
No.
But first we have a quiz show. So what we'll do is we will take our break here now. For the podcast listeners, thank you so much for joining us. For those watching on YouTube, thank you so much for joining us. Those of you on Twitch, thank you so much for joining us. In a few minutes, we will do our post-show. We got quite a lot of sub-activity and bits and all sorts of stuff today, so thank you so much. We got a hype train twice, which is super nice. Thank you, Nessie and Solid, and I think I saw Rory there as well. Actually, you resubbed, and there were a few other people there throwing bits and stuff around, which I saw. So thank you so much for everyone's contributions. For some reason, the filter is not showing me everything here; it's just showing me the hype trains. But thank you so much for everything. We really do appreciate it, and thank you for always contributing. We super appreciate it. Thank you to the mods who are in chat. We appreciate you as well. If you've got a question for our post show, please type !question followed by your question, and our group will do our best to answer it. We have some memes, we have some stuff coming up. Feel free to join us. Just saw Rhino in chat. Excellent. I hope you saw your I hope you just saw that. I was going to message you, so it's perfect. Thank you so much. For those of you who are watching, thank you so much. For those of you watching the post show, we will see you shortly. Take care.